Welcome back, everybody. It is your boy, Danks, the only original Dankster here. We're going to be bringing on RealBaze here shortly. But we have some breaking news that has been breaking through my channel on X over the last 72 hours or so. And it's been gaining a lot of traction, to say the least. Now, the title, the description, the thumbnail, it's all not clickbait. Okay. What I have found, what I've uncovered through using my own site. I actually was sleeping on this, not sleeping on it, but I just hadn't been using my site for my own research because I was like, well, I put all the information in there. I know it all. Not true, because then I started using my AIs. I started using Agent America on AmericansForTransparency.org, and it just brought forward the information that I had no idea was there, which is that the media outlet, Salem Media, Brad Parscale is the chief strategy officer. He was also Donald Trump's 2020 campaign manager, and he also built the digital architecture that put Trump in the White House twice. All right. So he ran Trump's digital architecture. There's a funny story behind that. But he's a registered foreign agent through the government of Israel. All right. He has a $9 million contract, and it's through the Israel Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and it's routed through Havas Media Group. All right. Now, this was filed, this foreign agent FARA document, which we'll show on screen today, was filed in September, 8 days after Charlie Kirk's assassination, September 18th, 2025. And that timing is not what we're really going to focus on, but I want you to hold on to that. What we're going to focus on today is the other title, Brad Parscale's simultaneously holding, which I just briefly mentioned, because he's not just a registered foreign agent for Israel. He is, again, the CSO, or Chief Strategy Officer, for Salem Media Group. And if you don't know what Salem Media Group is, you're about to understand why and what all of this means and why it matters more than anything else that we have covered on this channel. This is breaking news, okay? Salem Media Group is the largest Christian conservative media outlet or network, or both, in America, all right? They have 117 radio stations across 38 markets. They own Town Hall. They own Red State. They own PJ Media. They own Twitchy, not Twitch, Twitchy. They run the Salem Podcast Network, the Salem Radio Network, and the Salem News Channel. And they broadcast through the Charlie Kirk Show, the Josh Hammer Show, or whatever the hell he runs, Josh Hammer, Dennis Prager, Officer Tatum, Lara Trump, Larry Elder, Hugh Hewitt. It used to be Dinesh D'Souza, but he commented on my post that you might want to remove me from here. I just recently started my own show. Well, that doesn't eliminate you from the previous, since January of 2025, you having Bradley Parscale as your chief strategy officer. Okay. And we're going to get into what a CSO does. Now, we're talking also about Sebastian Gorka, Scott Jennings, Todd Starnes, and then proxies out the yin yang, Sean Hannity. It ended up these talking points from the Zionists, from the rapture stuff, all this stuff, the Schofield Bible type of talking points have been leaking in through the media sources because they have so many people on the wire that are going out and cross-pollinating with different networks. So that is the network, that is the reach. And the reach is pretty unlimited, if you ask me. Now, the man running the entire strategy for that operation filed federal paperwork admitting that he is simultaneously working for the Israeli government. He is a Kansas-born American citizen, all right? Now, let me give you the timeline because the sequence matters enormously here. Parscale's history with Trump goes back to 2011, all right? He was doing basic website work for the Trump organization out of San Antonio. Now, he was a small firm, nothing notable at the time. Then in earlier of 2015, sorry, why is Jesse, he's calling me, bro. What are you doing? I'm live, my guy. Let me text him back. Jesse on fire. You got it. When the big guy calls, you gotta say what's up. Hold on. Sorry, guys. I'm live, bro. Okay. So this history of Parscale, in 2015, Trump's team hired him to build the exploratory campaign websites. All right. They paid him $1,500 for that first job. All right. By the time the 2016 election was over, his firm was being paid $94 million for the Trump campaign. All right. He was the digital director who turned Facebook micro targeting and small dollar fundraising into a weapon that nobody in American politics had ever seen used at the scale that he had done it. Trump rewarded him by naming him campaign manager for the 2020 re-election bid. Now, in September of 2020, that something happened. He had been Baker acted in Fort Lauderdale with the SWAT team response, 10 guns seized. His wife, Candace, showed police that she had bruises both on her arms and on her face. He stepped away from the campaign, stepped away from public life, and went quiet for 4 years. Now, January 8th of 2025, he came back. He came back into Salem Media Group, and they issued a press release naming Brad Parscale, the same person who's been implicated in harming his wife and being a drunk. All right. He is now their chief strategy officer as of January 2025. Their CEO, David Santrella, called it a huge win for conservative media. Parscale's own statement talked about Salem's strong foundation in Christian values. He mentioned his recent baptism, which I'm all for people changing and having a change of heart and being Christian and believing God. He was baptized. All right. I don't think that's a Jewish thing. His renewed faith, his personal commitment, his mission was all part of this statement. The conservative media ecosystem celebrated Bradley Parscale. They called it a slam dunk. Nobody asked a single question. And this is the deceit that I want you to sit with, because this is how people use Christianity against good American Christians. 3 months later, April 14th, Salem announced another deal, this one involving Donald Trump Jr. and Lara Trump. Salem acquired a 30% stake in MXM News, a mobile news aggregation app co-owned by Trump Jr. in the exchange. Both Donald Trump Jr. and Lara Trump became significant stakeholders in Salem Media with ownership positions in the company, which means Bradley Parscale, he's the CSO for Salem Media. Then they got stake 30% of the news app outlet for Don Jr., their app, MXM. So in return, they gave Don Jr. and Lara Trump partnership in Salem Media. Okay. So now Salem Media, they're business married, okay, with Trump's Jr.'s app. Now, Lara Trump, who had already joined Salem in 2024, is she's a podcast host, okay? She renewed it with an exclusive agreement. Their CEO called it, in his own words, on the press release, a power move. Trump Jr. said he was excited to help grow Salem's audience and the commercial footprint for Salem. Lara Trump said she was proud to contribute content that speaks truth without an apology. Now, so as of April of 2025, this is what the structure looks like. The son of a sitting president of the United States holds a significant ownership stake in Salem Media. The president's daughter-in-law hosts an exclusive show on Salem's podcast network, and Salem's chief strategy officer is Brad Parscale, Trump's former campaign manager and like literally a federally registered foreign agent for the Israeli government. When you go read the FARA filing itself, this document is where it stops becoming about Brad Parscale and about the entire operation. In the document, it states that Clock Tower X LLC, which is Brad Parscale's company, it states that they will integrate Israeli government messaging directly into Salem Media Properties network properties. That is not my interpretation. That is not a paraphrase. That is the stated purpose of the contract. Israeli government narratives executed by and funded by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, routed through a German advertising firm, Havas, Germany. And then it's so crazy. Executed by Trump's former campaign manager. All right. Not only that, he worked with Charlie Kirk as an associate with Charlie Kirk. So this was been integrated into the properties broadcasting the Charlie Kirk show, Dennis Prager, Josh Hammer, Lara Trump, and many others to hundreds of millions of Christian Americans. In mainstream media is touching is that if you go through the filings, Salem Media Group does not appear anywhere as a disclosed entity. The delivery mechanism for the entire operation is not listed, which is a willful omission of material relationship from a foreign agent registration as a federal offense. That gap it has a name for a statute and all of this, and we'll get into it. 22 USC, whatever. We'll get into all of that. Now, while all of this is being built, the actual relationship, Salem Media, Trump's involvement, the Trump family involvement, Parscale was running strategy for Salem already as of January of 2025, before Trump Jr. and Lara got involved. While Trump Jr. and Lara Trump were taking ownership stakes, while the FARA contract was being drafted, the Salem Media roster was spending months on attacking Tucker Carlson, Sebastian Gorka. I mean, all of these people. Josh Hammer called Tucker Carlson a useful idiot for foreign governments. And he said that on Salem radio. How ironic is that? How Hippocratic is that? Sebastian Gorka questioned Tucker's patriotism. They said that on Salem Media's news broadcasting network. You had Dennis Prager implying that Tucker had abandoned American values. The entire ecosystem ran a coordinated campaign positioning Tucker as compromised by foreign influence. Every one of those hosts on a network whose chief strategy officer, working hand in hand with the CEO, the chief strategy had filed federal paperwork as a foreign agent for a foreign government, while Trump's family owns that company. And they're doing it while they're a registered foreign agent, saying all of this. You have the gall to say that. So today we're going to walk through the filings. We're going to walk through the language. We're going to show you the post budget timeline for the Israeli government, all of these documents. We've got Bayes sitting here. What's up, my guy? Welcome to the channel.
Oh, I'm finally up. What's up, everybody?
Sorry, man. I know I'm passionate about this. Gotta have you. He's bitter. He wants to be the star of the show. Go ahead.
I don't want to be the star of the show. I actually think it's funny. My stream started the same time as yours did, so everybody's in my channel just watching it.
Good. It's okay.
Yo, me and Danks have been.
You've been pumping. You've been sharing this, so you're a big part of this, bro.
Well, yeah. I mean, you did the research. You found this. I'm trying to make sure everybody knows that, but I'm trying to get this shit out because and everybody knows my favorite thing to do. My favorite thing to do on this platform is expose scumbags. Like, let's face it. And that we have a whole list of scumbags right here. And you know, while you were giving your rah-rah speech and doing an introduction, great, by the way. Fucking loved it.
Thank you.
Oh, sorry for cursing. Am I allowed to curse this time of day? Or when I'm streaming with you? I don't know what the rules are. Usually I try to like limit it, like that's why I do like my 10 o'clock show and every now and then, Anyway, so I've got a whole, like, anybody want to hear a list of scumbags?
Yeah, go ahead. Thank you, Chrissy, for the super chat. Morning family. Tucker is the cleanest, most ethical person. This sucks. We can't say it for sure, cleanest, most ethical, but he definitely seems more American than any of these freaking people. I'll tell you that much. Thanks.
Wait, who? Who are we talking about?
Tucker. She said Tucker is a super chat.
Yeah.
Tucker is the cleanest, most ethical person. We can't say that. We don't know. I mean, everybody has skeletons, but much more clean appearingly to everybody else talking shit. That's for sure. I'm on that boat. I'm just careful about how I speak about people.
All right, so here we go. I'm not as careful. So we have a list of Salem Radio Network. These are verified talent. Let's just go by the list. We got Bill Bennett, Hugh Hewitt, Mike Gallagher, no relation to me, Michael Medved, Dennis Prager, Eric Metaxas, I don't know, Larry Elder, Joe Walsh, and then added or elevated later, Sebastian Gorka, Dan Proft, Charlie Kirk, one of the biggest scumbags of them all, Brandon Tatum. We got Larry Elder again, Chris Stigl, Scott Jennings, Dinesh D'Souza, which I know he's like trying to say he snuck out the back door. Fuck him too. We got, this is the podcast networks. Dinesh D'Souza, Charlie Kirk, Todd Starnes, Trish Reagan, Jenna Ellis, Rich Thomas, Doug Collins, Carl Jackson, Michelle Tafoya, Julie Hartman, Rob McCoy, shocker there, Bryce Eddy, Morgan Zagers, Jordan and Logan Sakulo. Again, we got Brandon Tatum. Then we got Mike Crispy, John Solomon, Victor Davis Hanson, Bauer and Rose, Lara Trump, Jennifer Horn and Katie Gorka, Alex
I
Marlowe.
got a post to show a lot of this stuff.
Alex Marlowe, Don Trump Jr., Erin Milan, Josh Hammer. Actually,
it's all of them, bro.
Who do you guys think is a bigger scumbag, Josh Hammer or Brandon Tatum? I feel like it's got to be between the two of them. But anyway, I'm not saying that all these people are scumbags, but I am saying on the record that every single one of them, when it comes to talking about geopolitics, talking about the Charlie Kirk investigation, talking about our not so greatest ally, they are all compromised. Every single one of them is financially compromised. This is, without a doubt, one of the biggest this should be one of the biggest scandals. Like, when you have everything going on right now, the assassination of Charlie Kirk, the covering up of the Epstein files, this war with Iran, and then you find out that the majority of these people that are pushing out the media, which is supposed to be one of the largest Christian content distributors in the country, that they're all the Salem Media that's distributing all this content, all these people I just named, that it's owned by Trump's son.
Check this out.
And that they have a foreign agent who is Trump's former campaign manager, who's an Israeli foreign agent, and this is verified. Like, this is crazy. This is crazy. Like, are we America or are we in North Korea? I really want to know.
Let me share the post, and you can follow us again. Look, you can follow us. Look, I'll put if you want to follow me and Bayes on X, that's where most of this is going down. We're going to be doing an X space next week. We got a lot of big heads that we're talking to. Elizabeth Lane has been on the wire with Jesse on Fire. That's why he's calling me. Let me see what he sent me. But I want to read through this text. Yeah, join my stream here. Send to her. So Jesse, I'm going to send it to Jesse. He wants to join the stream.
All right, let's go.
Let me send it to him right now.
I'm curious. I'm curious what Jesse's thinking, how this is going to affect his theory on whether or not Charlie is still alive or not. Because I think this has motives for both. Because regardless of whether or not Charlie Kirk is dead, finding out what we know now and seeing the way that all this narrative that we clearly see as bullshit is being pushed. Like, there is nobody can deny right now that Donald Trump and Donald Trump Jr. had financial incentives to remove Charlie Kirk from the picture one way or another. That is clear. Could you imagine if Charlie Kirk was doing his tour right now, getting questioned by all these college kids about the war with Iran and the Epstein files? Could you imagine?
That was a good point that you mentioned.
How could Charlie Kirk possibly get on a stage, going town to town, university to university, answering these questions? He can't. They couldn't let him. They could never let him.
Yeah, that was a good point.
That doesn't mean that they killed him. I mean, if he's really dead, I think that's a pretty big motive. Somebody that's not compromised should be doing an investigation into this. But it's also a pretty big motive to stage his death.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about like all the people that were involved, all of the setup, so it's this timeline, right? So I'll actually, before I read the most viral post, I'll read the one that I made yesterday, right before I went to bed. So it's this one right here. Did you know that Donald Trump Jr. and Lara Trump took ownership stake in Salem Media Group in April of 2025, while their chief strategy officer was already building the infrastructure for a $9 million Israeli foreign agent operation? Parscale was installed as a CSO in January. The Trumps bought in April. The FARA filing dropped in September. That's not a coincidence. That's an assembly line. You don't install a man in January, bring in the president's family in April, and file as a foreign agent in September by accident. That's a 3-point move. That's 3 moves on the same chessboard. Somebody drew this up, somebody sequenced this, and somebody knew. The FARA filing says Israeli government messaging gets integrated into Salem Media Network properties, the same properties Lara Trump said she was proud to contribute content that builds real cultural influence for. The same network Don Jr. has a strategic partnership with. Whose cultural influence, Lara? Because the filings say it's Israel's, running through your own network under your family name. Did Don Jr. know about the FARA filing before he took his stake? Did Lara know she would be carrying foreign government messaging? Did anyone in the Trump family ask why their CSO was at the same time registering with the DOJ as an agent? Or was the whole point that nobody was supposed to ask? Because from where I'm sitting, this looks like the Trump family name was used as the branding on a foreign government's media operation to make it look like it's an American first operation, when really they have a strategy officer at its peak. They're doing peak business, attacking Candace, attacking anybody speaking out against with Tucker, and now they're attacking. That is not America first. That's some other country first, wrapped in American packaging. All right. Now, I say it's classic that they're just talking about Tucker like this. So this is Clock Tower X LLC and Bradley Parscale. We're gonna go to the FARA filing. I'll pull it up while we
Thanks. Is everybody here is in your Discord, right?
No, not everybody.
We
it's a paid Discord.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, yeah. If you guys want to join, it's $5.
We got to get some paying.
Hold on. It's
my
just
Discord's
because
free.
It's only because it was free, and then after about 60 people joined, I started getting really weird people joining, trolls, people attacking us and my channel, and I couldn't have it free anymore. So I had to charge $5. It's not that much, and it's on right now. It's on Patreon.
Am I allowed to drop files on there or no? In your
of course.
Discord?
Absolutely.
All right. So politics and chat. Where should I put this? All right. Well, I put it in my Discord too. I have a Discord too. I don't know. I think mine might be invite only though. But whatever. If you're in my Discord or Danks's Discord, I just dropped some files that you guys can load into your AI. And it includes the list of names. It includes who was CEO and in different positions. And it goes back to 2010. So if anyone wants to do their digging, of course, we're going to be covering this. We're going to keep talking about this, but give you guys some reading material too. And who knows, maybe you guys can go down your own rabbit holes and you could find the next big story like the one that Danks just broke.
Interesting. Clock Tower. Okay, here we go. So this is my website, americansfortransparency.org, which is exactly what I'm trying to do, is get transparency. So this is how the whole network works. All right. You've got the Israeli Ministry of Foreign Affairs up top. They've got the money. Then they route through 3 intermediaries. So this is where the funds go through, funds, and then tourism. And then you've got all of these companies working in tandem, all right, in order to create the mission, to fulfill the mission. Clock Tower X LLC is a major part of this. If you actually look at how much money they're all getting, most of them are not getting as much. Now, Havas Media, they're the ones that get all Show Faith by Works. Everyone's talked about them. They've only gotten $4.1 million. Clock Tower X LLC has gotten 2.2%, 2.2x that. So Clock Tower X LLC is one of their highest paid agents. All right. So if we go to the FARA documents and we go to their registered document here, let me find registration statement. Registration statement, Brad Parscale. Let's go here. You need to nurse CJ. Thanks for the super chat. You're gonna have to start from the beginning and then fast forward to now. I mean, at the end of basically, you're gonna have to go to the beginning. I explained it all in less than 10 minutes. Just go watch the first 10 minutes and then
did a great job.
You'll be all caught up. Thank you.
Thank
you for the super chat. For the mods, when do you all sleep? Do you sleep? LOL, $5. Thank you, Christy. The mods are gonna be hitting me up like, yo, are you gonna give us that money that Christy keeps super chatting or what? We need to split it between like 10 people. All right. So let's look at this filing. Okay. Thanks for the super chat, you guys. Sorry, I don't have time to go through it. Nurse, you're going to have to either be on time next time or just go back and watch it. Okay. So, we got the big dog. What's up, big dog?
What's up, dude?
What's
Jesse
good,
on
Jesse?
fire. This is my friend Bayes. This is Bayes. He's been doing great work covering the X stuff. He's been really outreaching a lot of the content I've been putting out, and I'm grateful to have him as a friend, and you as well, bro. So welcome to the channel. What's going on, bro? How do you feel about all this stuff, man?
It's absurd. I'm actually queuing up my OBS because I wanted to actually get this clip and then use it in the video that I'm going to do on it. Because as of like, here you go. Let me do this. Boom. And now we are. Oh, what? Why is this not? God, fuck OBS, man. That's my answer. Jeez, I fucking can't
That's what I
stand
told
this.
everybody.
God. Oh no!
I usually have the same problem with StreamYard. I'm usually good with OBS.
Yeah,
That's
you
like
guys
the
are
only
both.
thing I actually know how to do on a computer.
It just started working. As soon as you talked, it started working on my side. The audio started working, and
It
man,
probably took a second to click on.
that's wild. Well, no, because OBS is actually so advanced that it's picking up my mic and it realizes that I'm on the other channel, and so it doesn't want to double pick me up. So it's actually blocking me off when I'm on screen on YouTube, and then picking up my microphone. Then when you guys talk, it picks it up.
Oh, that's crazy.
That's actually really wild, dude.
Yeah,
Love and compassion. I'm glad you said it. You said you've been saying it all along that the FARA registrations were the key. Bravo. Absolutely. That's why I built the whole website around it. There's so much there. You've got the problem is that Pam Bondi dismantled the oversight. So now it's free reign.
I'm sure that was by accident. Super random.
In hindsight, it seems a little premeditated, don't you think? Jesse,
Well,
I want to ask you though, because I know that you were like you were one of the OGs with the theory that Charlie Kirk might have staged his death. I think that everything that we're finding out now, that this is a different. I know you thought that the motives would have been a little bit different. You thought that maybe he thought he was going to go to jail, but now I can't see how Trump or Trump Jr. would ever want him on a stage going around doing a tour, answering questions, because between the Epstein files, between the war with Iran, and then finding out this and all the conflicts of interest, they could never let him put him on the stage.
Yep. And then, but then are they going to actually whack him out, dude? It's like, I
don't think they would have to. Charlie was so close with them. You don't think that he would take one for the team? Yeah. Tell him, like, listen, we're going to make you a martyr. We're going to do all this stuff for you. It's going to be in your name, and you're going to help save your country.
Did you check this out? So this just happened 1 minute before I hopped on here. Elizabeth Lane, some people will know who she is. She's like Candace shared a couple of her.
She's a big deal.
Yeah, she shared a couple of her posts about how Erica Kirk is a complete psycho. And what's funny, so she is the most she's the biggest challenge ever to convince her of anything if you don't have like absolutely bulletproof evidence. And so I'm really good friends with her for many, many years. So the first thing I did was I brought it to her and tried to tell her over the phone, like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. And she was like, Jesse, don't do this. She's like, you're just going to destroy your credibility. I'm like, yeah, but I'm right. She's like,
about the Charlie martyr theory.
Yeah. And she was the first one that I called. And then I bet her that if she watched the first 2 episodes, she would not be able to, with a straight face, tell me that it is a 0% chance. I was like, you'll say at least 25% after 2. I was literally just talking to her, and she's like, you have to see this. She's like, I can't believe this, that I'm sending you this, but I would feel remiss if I didn't show you. She was interacting with AI yesterday, and her AI refused to say that Charlie was dead. Like, she's talking to it, and it's like, because I'd heard this from a lot of people that ChatGPT was saying. It's
because of the training, bro. They're not trained up to date. You just got to give it an article, and it'll correct itself. It's just the AI.
You kind of gotta calibrate it, and especially using ChatGPT, because the sensitivity guardrails are so high, especially when you talk about like our not so greatest ally. It'll bounce. It's almost like bowling with the bumpers. It'll keep the ball from going in the gutter, tanking against them. So but once you learn how to calibrate it and use the right language and talk to it in hypotheticals, and like the whole reason that I go by the name RealBaze is because it's based on Bayes' theorem, which is a probability-based math formula. And that's what I use with all my research. And like when the Epstein files came out, I was spot on about a lot of stuff.
Oh, I don't doubt it.
A lot of theories that I had. And this is before I had a platform. This is part of the reason why I made my platform. And, let's just say it did not take long. like 3 days after whatever happened to Charlie, I say that he left the board. 3 days after Charlie left the board, I had pretty much almost ruled out the Tyler Robinson narrative. Like just based on the way everything was playing out.
Yeah.
So I do want to jump into this. So Salem Media Group, on January 8th, they brought in Bradley Parscale. I did a whole intro explaining that, but this is your evidence here from Salem Media's website themselves. Appointed Brad Parscale as Chief Strategy Officer, and this is him. All right, this is Brad Parscale, and Parscale will contribute his innovative mindset, political experience, network, and technical insight to the expanding Salem Media Group mission and digital initiatives in this role. He is a leading expert in digital marketing and online strategy. And then you have him here. This is Clock Tower X LLC, registration number from the DOJ, and the principal is Bradley Parscale. And the Clock Tower X LLC is engaged in creative strategy and media production, including the development of digital content, messaging campaigns, and related distribution services for political, cultural, and commercial initiatives. And they are foreign principal for the state of Israel.
Yep. And I will just say this, because I saw what article you had up on the screen prior to this with the acquisition where they purchased 30%. I think you got that up. They purchased 30.
I did.
Yeah, they purchased 30% of Don Jr.'s media company. And if anybody was, looking at how things operated in the last administration, you were watching, Hunter Biden, 50% goes to the big guy. If you think Don Jr. is not sharing any dollars that come into what he's doing with the big guy, this new big guy, you're out of it's exactly the same, except these guys are much better at this and they're making much more money. And when I saw that, I literally said, I'm done with him, dude. Like I'm completely done with him, dude. Now I don't there's no more hey guys, let's give him the benefit of the doubt. Completely compromised, fucking done. I'm done with them.
And
it's not even, you combine the fact that their business, I sent this to you last night, their business married. So Salem Media owns 30% of MXM News state app for Don Jr. And then in return, they gave Don Jr. and Lara Trump significant ownership in Salem Media. They're together in this.
Which means the big guy, they're holding his stock. Like the president of the United States is 100%. And we're in a war now for these exact people. Like this is the definition of selling out America by definition. Like this is exactly
100%,
what this is.
100%.
Yeah.
And think about it. It's not just the fact that they own the distributor of the majority of the Christian media content that goes out in America. But when you factor in Larry Ellison and how he, bought up Paramount, he's got CBS, Netflix wanted to buy Warner Brothers, Trump blocked that. And then they were, Larry Ellison was able to buy Warner Brothers too. They did the for sale of TikTok. That went to Larry Ellison. And all of this media, if you control the information, you control the world. What is the difference? Trump's influence on the media is no different than Robert Maxwell with the textbooks and the indoctrination that us as Americans went through growing up. Yep. I mean, maybe it's a little bit different, but it's kind of the same thing.
Conceptually, it's the same. Yeah. And I was talking to Danks about this last night, because if everybody doesn't see where this is going to go, let me shed some light on exactly what the future state is going to be in this game right here. Right now, you are still in a partial social media world where that is going to be a heavy, piece of influence. Next is going to be exclusively when everyone has adopted AI and they consider AI to be the source of truth on anything, where I ask it X question, it gives me answer. This is what's true. And that is like the next generation of what's going to happen. And the generation after that people are not putting together yet is that Elon telegraphed what Neuralink is actually going to be. Neuralink is going to be putting your device into your brain. It's going to, instead of having some stupid thing where you have a thought, you have to type it into your phone and whatever, it's going to get you, people think that that's science fiction. Okay, there's like a brain game you can buy for $60 where I can concentrate and make a ball fly in the air with my brain waves. Okay, if someone can get that for $70, believe me, very soon you're going to have the ability for a chip to interact with your brain, and you're going to think to yourself oh, I wonder what year those guys did that. And AI will be integrated into the chip, and boom, and your everything you think is going to be fed to you by the chip.
Scary.
That's what's coming for sure. And whoever wins that battle, that's a wrap. You know?
And then you think about the crap that Bill Gates is trying to do with spraying all the mRNA and all the crops and all the food. The guy's buying up all the crops in America. He's trying to control the water. He's working on all this other crap where like the nanotech or whatever, where they want to give you pills and different strips that like last like 5 years where they try to like trace your like basically like internal digital IDs that like you don't even have to get like chipped.
Nope. That's honestly, if you think that's really fascinating, actually, because I've known that you have Bill Gates on one side of this and these guys on the other, which is why I was so fervently like, whatever Charlie's doing, I'm on that side because I'm so against what's going on over here. But if Charlie's on this side, candidly, if I have no choice, I have to pick one of them, I would probably go with this side, because what you're actually looking at is the approach of hard power versus soft power. Like Bill Gates wants to starve you if you don't do what they say. Like he wants to hold back your food.
Yeah, it's the king's merchant. This guy's going to usher in the Antichrist if he's not stopped.
That guy. And on the other side, they want to have you volunteer to put a chip in your brain, which they will then make you feel great about. But whatever they feed you is truth. They'll be able to control what your impulses are. They'll be able to make you feel how they want to. And then you do what they want you to do, absent them putting a gun to your head. And it's like, Jesus, I hate both of these fucking options.
It's like, how did this happen? How did we get here? How did we get here? Did nobody read 1984 growing up, or Brave New World, or any of these books that
they
like
predicted? Yeah, they wrote it out.
Like, read 1984, read Brave New World.
They literally probably jumped in a time machine and went back and fucking wrote it. And they're like, I wonder if these guys will be able to change the future. They went back. They're like, nothing changed. Cool.
And the worst part is,
Christy wants to thank. I just want to get through a couple of these. Christy wants to thank you for she found me through you. She said, thanks, Jesse, for helping me find Danks and the crew. Danks equals Research Beast. Thank you. Hidden Knowledge says Tyler Robinson is cross-eyed. We talked about this. Jesse and I talked about that. I was going to bring on my cousin, who is an ophthalmological surgeon, eye surgeon. Jesse, I think
my dad's an ophthalmologist. Yeah.
So what did he say about that?
He said there's nothing to it. He said if you're closing one eye, it doesn't matter if you're cross-eyed in the other one, because he would be looking through the scope with the good eye.
Okay.
But it doesn't matter. It's still like, I've taken that shot. I went to at heavy duty, like we went and took that shot 140 yards at a downward angle. And we were doing it with no one else there. It sounds short because usually when you're at a range and you're shooting with a rifle, 140 is not that far. But when you're at a downward angle and the target is relatively small, and then you imagine all of this noise, every reason to be super distracted, it was much harder than, I mean, we all hit it, but it was like, okay, this is a lot harder of a shot than you would think, especially if you're on a roof and you're sitting there posted up and you have to be, he's like basically wide out in the open. You'd be shitting your pants. Like, someone's going to see me. Someone's going to see me. Someone's going to see me. It's a much harder shot than I gave it credit for sure.
Death Queef, thanks for the $2. America was sold when the Federal Reserve started. Bro, we were talking about this yesterday too, man.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Anybody still think that the Titanic just hit an iceberg?
I kind of do, actually. I think that they might have just bought into their own dumbass marketing. They're all, it's unsinkable, the most unsinkable ship, and you have some retard up there. They're all, it's unsinkable. Let's just power through this. And you're like, yeah, no, that was just a person who said that. You fucking idiot. I don't know what would the motive have been for them knocking it down.
Because all the billionaire, well, I don't know if they were billionaires back
then.
All the people in power that were against the Federal Reserve were all on it, and then some of the ones that were for it checked out the last minute.
They were gonna go on, like Rockefeller. I don't know. All these people were actually, they bought a ticket, they had their everything, and it was broadcasted on their newspapers and stuff that all these people were gonna be on board. So it's almost like, imagine if the Vault conference by PBD was like this mega thing where all the big people showed up or something like that, and then you could buy a ticket.
Yeah, and everyone, everyone who was for the Fed checked out at the last minute, and all the ones that were against it died.
Exactly.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, that's an interesting coincidence.
Yes.
Hey, did anyone from the Titanic that survived? Did they report any kind of like I don't know, like some big bang from like I don't know, like what would they have? They sunk a ship back in the 1920s with like a torpedo or something?
I've heard stuff, but I haven't dug deep enough into that to really to know. I want to play this clip. This is from, do you know Anomaly? I haven't heard of him,
shout
but
out to him.
Bayes told me about him. He's got a lot of followers on.
Oh,
do.
he's great. I've been
I've
following
got
him.
I got
Dreamwear.
5 minutes and I got what I needed because I wanted you to talk about exactly what was going on there as I announced to the world I'm fucking done with these guys.
Yeah, I mean, I can show you a few more things too. So
yeah, please.
This is what I'm really fed up with. So on this post, this is the one that Jimmy Dore reposted and followed me over. James Lee, a lot of big heads in the game. Let me get this straight. Josh Hammer called Tucker Carlson a useful idiot for foreign governments. Sebastian Gorka questioned Tucker's patriotism on national radio. Dennis Prager lectured America about our values while implying Tucker had abandoned them. The entire Salem media ecosystem spent months framing Tucker Carlson as compromised by foreign influence. Funny, because every single one of them broadcasts on Salem Media Group. And Salem Media Group's chief strategy officer is Brad Parscale. And Brad Parscale is the registered principal of Clock Tower X LLC. And Clock Tower X LLC is a registered foreign agent for the state of Israel, filed with the Department of Justice. Right here.
And then
How crazy.
Salem Media buys 30% of Trump Media's company, and then Trumps get stock in Salem Media. And now, and listen, here's the thing: if they would have just been doing their normal propaganda shit, and I would have been like, this is par for the course. If that was that, I would have been like, okay, like I don't love it, but I don't care. But the second we went to war with Iran, I was like, nope. Now that's a red line in the sand. We are attacking another country and putting our own allies at tremendous risk, putting everything at risk for these people who are behind this. Now I'm fucking done with them permanently.
The whole Trump, yeah, and then you see it, like you just said. They are married together in business. Salem Media owns 30%. They've made that public of MXM news app of Don Jr. And in return, they gave Don Jr. and Lara Trump, they call it a significant, it could be even more than 30%, a significant ownership of Salem Media. So this is the timeline, right? The timeline is Parscale was installed as a CSO in January of 2025. Then Trump's bought in or were gifted in April. Then the FARA file dropped in September. That is not a coincidence. All right. The Trump family is not going to buy into a company with a foreign agent for Israel without knowing that this is happening, bro.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Wait. I just want to chime this in before I forget. Let's not forget that in the files, it came out that in 2020 that they believed that Jared Kushner could have potentially been a foreign agent, not asset, agent, a Mossad individual, if you know what I mean, and that they believed that he was Trump's handler and that he could have been controlling the White House. Now, back when Brad Parscale was working for Trump, he was answering directly to Jared Kushner.
And it's funny to think about how everyone's all, Erica Kirk may have been Charlie's handler. And it's like, okay, so and how did that go about? It's like, oh, well, she went in and got with Charlie and she's handling him. It's like, and how did Kushner get into the Trump family? It's like, oh, he went in and he married Ivanka. You're all,
They're completely tied in, bro. They're bought out. They've taken this is so infuriating because they ran on America first, bro. Make America great again.
Always a lie.
When they said MAGA, make Israel great, I knew like that really, it hurt me, bro. It hurt me. I felt betrayed. And that was like really the spark of it for me. And then after that, I've just been on just this rampage to figure out what is going on. Why is Donald Trump completely backpedaling on every single thing? Everything.
I wonder what, Charlie, I really wonder what now, like, because this whole thing makes me very much kind of like, I wonder if, like, because if it was what you said at the beginning of the thing, I wonder if, remember like the meeting that is like, oh, Bibi offered him all this money and he said no. It's like, all right, maybe, or what if he didn't say no? And then they took him off the map. And it's like, I mean, I don't know. Now my brain's all over the place, dude. It is all over the place. I don't know what it is. And honestly, that would actually explain why they 100% could not put Candace on the inside of it if it is what it says it is. And like, I would encourage, I got to jump right now, but I would encourage everybody to watch Candace's episode from last night about Terrell Farnsworth and listen to that interaction and like clear your mind. And just, you have two options. One option is that Terrell Farnsworth, the FBI, and all of the TPUSA people all participated in a very public assassination of Charlie Kirk, which for some reason they actually recorded on video creating evidence of the murder they created, or it is a thing that they put together, which I said, and that's why the FBI is in on it. And that's why Terrell Farnsworth is terrified of Candace, where she's asking for the video because he's like, oh shit, I don't know what to do. And she's got him trapped. And then the FBI is calling her husband and everybody's calling. It's like, which seems more likely? Just listen to her episode again and you tell me. I'm not even telling you which would be more likely. Just, I would encourage you guys to do that.
Jesse, real quick, I just want to ask you. Hey, you don't have to answer. If you still got to think about it, that's totally fine because I'm kind of on the fence myself. Do you still think that Charlie Kirk's alive?
Oh, 1,000%. I'd like 1,000%. Like I've never been more sure about any conspiracy theory in my entire life. I would bet my cats. Like I fucking love my cats. I bet their lives on it in 1 second.
Yeah, me too.
In a millisecond.
But not because it changes now. Because
I'm just talking about motive and like how it all fits together. Like I'm positive that they did it. It's just a matter of like, man, like is it was Charlie like afraid of Israel? Like, is he afraid of Israel? Was he, is it all like about, because I know how they'd sell Trump on it. It's about retribution. They immediately are called Antifa domestic terror groups, which means they can use the Patriot Act against Soros and all these guys who were trying to put them in prison. It's about revenge for Trump. That's how I would sell it to him anyway. And then, like all of this other stuff, it's just, I don't know. I mean, I honestly, I don't know how it all fits together. But like watching her episode last night, I'm like laughing. I'm like, it's so fucking obvious. How can they not figure this out? Like, how can Candace not figure it out? It's right in front of her, dude.
Well, she doesn't even want to open that thought. It feels like she's not even interested in engaging with that.
It's possible.
Well, but, here's one thing that I've been saying that I've been catching a lot of heat for.
Well, I just said the dreams and stuff, and that makes it all.
Well, no, not only that, but Candace has been telling everybody that she always knew that Charlie knew that it would be her to find the justice. And if they were that close, and that's the case, wouldn't Charlie also count on her to sell it to everybody that he's dead?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Depends on the circumstances behind this thing now. You know what I mean? Because Candace is going after his family. Either that is the ultimate, like the ultimate, like, we can't let anyone know that this happened, and let's have you just destroy my company and fucking family, which seems like a very far-fetched, possibility. Or she just can't get there. You know what I mean? I don't know. All right, I got to jump. You guys are the best. I don't want to derail this conversation again. So, all right, there's good stuff.
Joining, brother.
Later, guys.
Yeah, man.
Thank you.
Later, bro. See you. So, yeah, I do want to say that a little bit of history actually on the Salem Network and Charlie Kirk. So the Charlie Kirk show actually launched on Salem Radio Network in October 5th of 2020. And so this is an ancient history. This was 5 years ago. Salem signed Kirk to the same slot that Rush Limbaugh made legendary. Right. So Rush Limbaugh had that same, noon to 3 p.m. Eastern. And this is pretty much the most coveted real estate in conservative talk radio. Kirk did not just fill it. He dominated it. And this is a big reason why everybody knows Charlie Kirk, and then also adding the going to schools and all this stuff. Now, by April of 2021, just a year in, the podcast had over 100 million downloads and a multi-year extension deal with Salem Podcast Network, which was signed. And then by March 2025, the Charlie Kirk show was on 195 radio stations with 500 total affiliates. When Dennis Prager, he had a catastrophic spinal cord injury, Salem did not go out and find somebody new. They gave Prager's station to Charlie Kirk. So he went into over 200 stations overnight. And then 3 weeks before he was assassinated, Salem announced he had become the #1 conservative podcast in the country. And if we have to understand the scale of what we're talking about here. This is not a small show on a small network. This was their flagship show. This was Salem's most valuable asset. The relationship ran from October 2020 until September 10th, 2025, when Kirk was shot at UVU. Nearly 5 years, and that show still existed and was blasting out everywhere. And it still is on Salem Podcast Network today. Hosted by his executive producers, Andrew Colvett, Blake Neff. Salem kept the brand alive. So they kept that revenue stream running, and the radio slot was handed to Scott Jennings and Alex Marlowe starting January 26th with 300 stations. Now, what I need you to sit with is that Brad Parscale was named Salem's chief strategy officer. Again, I told you, in January of 2025. Kirk was already Salem's #1 asset. 8 months later, Parscale files this agent registration for the Israeli government. The contract language literally states that messaging for their Israeli government gets integrated into Salem Media's network properties. Okay. The Charlie Kirk Show, the #1 conservative podcast in America, is broadcasting on Salem Media Network properties. Those are the facts. I'm not telling you what it means. I'm just telling you what their documents say.
And then in April, Donald Trump Jr. gets 30% stake.
Yeah. Then in April, Don Jr. gets 30% stake. I mean, I don't know. So we're going to show a lot more stuff. I just got to craft this expos real quick.
Actually, I have an idea.
Let me show you guys a couple of things here. We're going to go into Officer Tatum.
Oh, are we? That was
Yep.
that's going to be a spoiler. That's what I was going to do tonight. Let's go. Let's just go.
Tatum. We're going to go into
just
Josh
go.
Hammer. So let me see this one right here.
I know after you did that initial post that went viral, and then I made my video where I covered it, and then that video did well. I started digging deeper, and then I was planning on doing a big live tonight, and then you just dropped the bomb and with the Trump with Don Jr. last night, and then I'm like, all right, this, we're just going all out.
Okay, so Tatum. Okay, so let me see here. Let's see. So he joined Salem Radio in May 2022 following a press release. He signed to replace Larry Elder, who had departed to run for governor of California. Tatum inherited Elder's 6 to 9 p.m. Eastern time nationally syndicated slot, and that was affiliated with 387 stations. Tatum's path to Salem ran directly through Charlie Kirk. In March 2018, Kirk hired Tatum at TPUSA director as wait, hold on. It was director of urban engagement. Wow, that's something special there. Okay, so Tatum said, okay, so I am, as this news is breaking, I am literally learning about stuff as we go. So it looks like Tatum got out right before Bradley Parscale got involved. This is what this is saying. I'm not here to hurt anybody if they're not.
Oh, Tatum's not with them no more?
Let me see. This is a press release. Okay, when it comes to Larry Elder, so this is what my document says. It says Tatum's Salem tenure ended on August 5th, 2024, when Larry Elder returned to reclaim the 6 to 9 p.m. slot. His total time on Salem Radio was 2 years, 3 months. Tatum graciously in departure. I started doing radio because I was inspired by Larry. So when the opportunity arose for Larry to come back, I was honored to make room for him. But he's still giving the same talking points, right? He is, he's appeared on multiple shows. So just because he's not on the network working with them, when you are, okay, imagine this. When you go in and you work with somebody else's show, all right, that has the virus, you by proxy get the virus. Nobody just goes onto a show and doesn't get the virus. This is a great example. I'm going to show you a great example of how this virus spreads, because Sean Hannity goes on their show all of the time. Okay, he goes on their show all of the time, and he's not actually affiliated with the network independently. So these are all the people that are by cross promotion or by amplification. So you've got Charlie Kirk's show. These are all Josh Hammer, Seb Gorka, Officer Tatum, but he's not any longer. Todd Starnes, Hugh Hewitt, Larry Elder's show. All right. Now you've got Breitbart News ecosystem is pushing all of the same content. Fox News pushing the same content, amplifying it. Rumble Video pushing the same content. Daily Wire, Ben Shapiro, Benny Johnson, deeply embedded. All right. Matt Walsh, Michael Knowles. They're all Daily Wire, not Salem, but the content pipeline runs parallel and the guest sharing is constant. All right. So Mark Levin, Westwood One syndication, but completely embedded in the Salem content universe. So just because they're not paid by Salem, they are all doing the same talking points that are force fed through this propaganda machine that's being distributed through Bradley Parscale's backdoor foreign agencies. So I want to tell you, like, if you know their talking points, when we watch this clip, you'll see exactly what I mean. So listen to how they talk.
Specific question, because this infuriates me. We've been witnessing the rise of anti-Semitism worldwide. We see it in the halls of Congress. We see it on college campuses. We see it in the podcast space, and it's loud, and it gets louder. Here's my question for anybody that is angry. For example, all these people that were protesting, Gaza and what happens, to the people in Gaza. Excuse me, they're the ones that voted in Hamas in the first place.
Yep.
But here's my point. Israel has a population of under 10 million people. What do we have, 360?
How many times have we heard this?
I know, it's
Like, we
ridiculous.
have to listen to how they're all saying the same shit. Okay, listen to
Such a small country with such a small population. They're like this big. Like it's like, come on, like what's the big deal? But they own like.
But when they say this stuff,
Their
it's the
influence.
same. Listen to this talking point. Listen to what he says.
Population of under 10 million people. What do we have? 365 million Americans around that of our population. So extrapolate out their population versus ours. Compare it to October 7th. That's the equivalent of over 40,000 dead Americans in a day.
You heard that before, right?
That's crazy.
Did you hear? You were the one that went off on that, saying that they're comparing one death of that to 40,000.
It's crazy.
They have talking points they all share, and it spreads like a virus. So even though Sean Hannity is not paid directly by Salem on a regular basis on the network,
They're all playing ball. They're all playing
have
ball.
you seen those news clips where it shows they're all repeating the same talking points on like dozens of stations? And this is it. This is an example of that.
Thanks. Think about what I say about us and our team. High tide raises all ships. They got a higher tide with a lot more ships.
Let's see what they say here. Watch how they
Compare
talk
it to
about it.
October 7th. That's the equivalent of over 40,000 dead Americans in a day. For all those people that said, oh, Israel shouldn't fight back, what would you want America?
And by the way, it's not the equivalent. It's just a statistical equivalent. You can't equate lives the same way. That's not.
If America had the equivalent of 40,000 dead Americans, my answer, obliterate the living daylights out of them, destroy them.
That's who you guys want talking to your parents, your kids, broadcasting as a Christian conservative media outlet. On PBD's podcast,
to me.
Bro, PBD was gone that day. This whole show was about Israel. The whole show.
Oh shit, I didn't even realize that was on Patrick Bet-David's show.
Yeah, PBD was gone. He's sitting in PBD's chair, bro.
Yo, that's
and he took the opportunity to force feed this shit down all of his viewers. That podcast has, I'll show you after.
To do it, and then anti-Semitism rises. Explain that.
Well,
I can explain it. Every time you raise the bar, or you lower the bar on what anti-Semitism is by expanding the goalposts and saying, well, now we're going to put all these new words and all these new definitions and Christ is King, all of this shit into it. That's how it raises.
Well, no, it's not even just that. It's number one, they weren't protesting against a religion. They were protesting against the slaughtering of children. They were protesting against what they had believed to be a genocide. They protest against what was without a doubt an ethnic cleansing. And then once you add the files into the equation and you see that there's zero accountability, that all these PDFs, all these people that were laundering money and abusing children and doing the things that they were doing and offing them, and not a single arrest, and then you find out that he's working for them. And then the people that are questioning this, the people that are asking questions, the people that are raising awareness, the people that are sharing facts, the people that are asking for the government and the Trump administration to release classified documents that by law that they were supposed to release, that to this day they still haven't. The people asking those questions, the people that are raising that awareness, the people making the content about that, those are the ones being labeled anti-Semitic.
Share this post, everyone. I'm going to put it in the chat. I'll pin it to my chat as well. We're live right now on X, YouTube, and Rumble. But if you want to share it on X, that'd be great to get the message spread out. Let me go ahead and pin it to my channel here. I'd love it if you did share that for me and Baze. That'd be great. Let me get a couple of these super chats real quick. There's this too. And Agnes Louise, thank you for your hard work. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. AWC, what's up, big dog? Mod in the building, member for a month. Thank you for being here. Look, truth is this: we got to finish this thing right here. So, listen to how this is embarrassing, bro. Listen to these guys right here.
Anti-Semitism is not a new thing. I'm Jewish. We've been dealing
Not
with
like
forever,
this.
but
This
not
is
like
bad.
this, of course.
So
So
like this is bad.
the great Thomas Sowell had the quote, you know, what's your cure for anti-Semitism? He had this interview and he goes, yeah, that's pretty simple. Lose, fail. You know, because here's the reality: losers hate winners. In any capacity. Why do people all around the world hate America? Because we're winners, baby. Why do the Middle Eastern countries, not the Gulf states, you see UAE defending, you see Bahrain defending Israel and America. Why do the terrorists around them? Is because they're losers. They've been praying to, in my opinion, a false prophet. No offense.
How do you say, in my opinion, a false prophet? No, the guy's a freaking moron, bro.
And they've been saying, when are you gonna bring me the success that I want in life? When are you gonna bring me everything that I've been praying for? Look at Israel.
And meanwhile, he's peddling a bullshit narrative for a bunch of people that sacrifice children to Baal.
Yeah,
Allegedly.
we've got a
Allegedly.
no, not we've got we have. Look, I've covered this stuff, bro, recently.
How long? 75 years? Why do they have all this money? They must be, they run the rule. They run the, of course, what's going on. So losers hate winners.
Doesn't that piss you off, what he just said? Because people do believe that.
It terribly pisses me off. I mean, you have
Tom right here, he wants to speak the truth. I can see it in his body language. But look at the talking point they fed him to say, bro.
people out there that say, oh, you know, Israel's lobbying and manipulating, and AIPAC has, you know, lobbyists assigned to every senator. Well, so does the pharmaceutical industry, and I think they're probably funded better than AIPAC.
You're going to compare operating AIPAC and buying out all of our 94% of our politicians to AIPAC. You just said it. And you're going to compare that to pharmaceutical companies. Yeah, maybe that is a comparison that might appear fair on its face, but it's not, because then what happens is AIPAC pushes for a foreign government agenda through the talking points of Salem Media and the virus that they've spread. This is how far it goes, all the way to PBD Podcast. All right. They have no affiliation that I know of with Salem. They run their own network. But Tom, he can't even speak the truth. He's trying to find something to compare it with that's bad, that's as bad as possible. And he picks what is pretty bad is the pharmaceuticals, which I think lobbying needs to be disbanded completely. But listen to what he says.
I look at it and I see this and I'm stunned and I'm pissed off when I see the students, you know, just walking across campus and being harassed, and these, you know, protests that were going on against them that were, you know, you talk about
what protests, bro? The only protests were pro-Palestine protests, not to take out Gaza. And so they use that as against Jewish students. That is insanity to me, bro.
the liberalism on college campus. Oh, we don't want racism. We don't want racism. And then you basically you act as racist yourself against these students who are walking out there, and it infuriates me. Is there anybody in this chat that's Jewish that has been racially injured emotionally at school? Let me know. Put a 5 in the chat if you have. And when you had the 3 schools that were in the hearing, Harvard, Columbia,
MIT, I believe.
MIT, and they're all there. What are you doing about it? They wouldn't say what you feel about Israel, whether they are or aren't, lobbying in this. Just set that aside for a second and look at the people around the world and look what's going on. Ask yourself a question: where's this coming from, and why is this here? And then these Jewish students can't walk across campus without being harassed.
Where, bro? Let's find out. Is there evidence of Jewish students unable to walk across campus in USA 2026?
No, I wouldn't doubt that. I wouldn't doubt that there are some instances, but I also wouldn't doubt that there are some staged instances as well. And this is where we got to be careful, because, you don't want to just pretend like there is no anti-Semitism.
I'm sure there are.
You know what I mean?
What they're doing is they're equating the data of anti-Semitism rising with the fact that students are obviously experiencing this at the scale a 42% increase in anti-Semitism,
Well,
which is
yeah,
not at that
the
point.
the problem is that when people want to protest against children being slaughtered in Gaza, that they want to correlate that with anti-Semitism. That's kind of like how they try to say that, criticizing Zionists or, the nation of Israel is anti-Semitic, which is ridiculous.
So let me this ending is pretty crazy, bro. Listen to what they say.
Or physically accosted or worse. Really? And the schools just let it happen? That's the issue for me. Why do they sit back and just let that happen? And I don't get it.
You said something that I think dovetails right into what you're suggesting. What culture teaches their children to strap on bombs and that if you go kill innocent men, women, and children, that Allah's going to reward you with 72 virgins?
Bro, this is the craziest propaganda lie bullshit I've ever heard. They do not teach this, bro. They do not teach this in Islam, okay? This is a major problem.
How come they never talk about what they teach in the Talmud? That's
Bro,
what I want to know.
Don't get me started on that. Check this out.
That's what I want to know.
Look
Because
at what-
I've read what they say about Jesus in the Quran, and I've read what they say about Jesus in the Talmud.
Here, let's just put it on stage. So this is the Mishnah. The Mishnah, I could play a segment actually. Let me play. I'm gonna play a segment from YouTube from this dude, Verillium, that does a really good job explaining exactly this, right? And I'll put it kind of fast because people need to see this. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. There's 450 people here on YouTube joining on my channel. Please share this out. We're exposing the Israeli propaganda machine behind American conservative media. But you need to understand the actual background behind who these people are and what they believe, right? This is their, and I don't know. Do I want to get too deep into this here? Let me see. Where is it?
Let's go. Let's get balls deep.
Yeah, you want to get into
Yeah,
it?
come on.
All right, let me find it. Bizarre World of the Talmud.
Hold him back.
Here it is, right here.
Chat, put a 1 in the chat if you want Danks to get balls deep into this right now.
All right. Put a B in there.
In Judaism, they talk about it a lot in the Talmud, like a lot. They call it Gehenna. It's actually where Arabs get the word Jahannam from, in reference to the valley of Gehenna, a real place on earth where the Israelites used to burn their trash and like shit. So he says, who's most important in the next world? Like who's honored in heaven? Titus said unto him, the Jewish people. Onkelos asked, should I then attach myself to them here in this world? Meaning, should he become Jewish? Titus said to him, their commandments are numerous, and you will not be able to fulfill them. It is best that you do as follows. Go out and battle against them in that world, and you will become chief. As it is written, her adversaries have become the chief, which means that anyone who distresses Israel will become the chief, meaning like a great leader in the world. Onkelos said to him, but what is the punishment of that man in the next world? Meaning, how do you get punished if you do that? That which he decreed against himself as he undergoes the following. Every day his ashes are gathered, and they judge him, and they burn him, and they scatter him over the 7 seas. So they torture him. They like pick him up, judge him every day. And every day they go, yeah, you're guilty. And then scatter him into ashes again. And then send him into the ocean. That's the punishment that Titus received for fighting the Jewish people. Onkelos then went and raised Balaam from the grave through necromancy. Balaam, let me note, is a like demon. If you're a Christian or a Muslim, you believe that Balaam is like a demon. He said unto him, who is most important in that world where you are now? Balaam said to him, the Jewish people. Onkelos asked him, should I then attach myself to them here in this world? Okay, we know, we get it, okay? Balaam said to him, you shall not seek their peace or their welfare all the days. Onkelos said to him, what is the punishment of that man? Balaam said to him, he is cooked in boiling semen as he caused Israel to engage in licentious behavior with the daughters of Moab. This is again in reference to the story of the Bible, Book of Numbers with Balaam. Now, here's the big one. All of you have been waiting for this. I know this is the one you're thinking of. Onkelos then went and raised Jesus the Nazarene, Jesus Christ. Let me note, he is referred to throughout the Talmud several times as Jesus the Nazarene or Jesus of Nazareth. This is, again, mind you, Christ means Messiah. And obviously Jews don't believe that he's the Messiah, but he gets mentioned as Jesus the Nazarene, which is to say, Jesus, that guy from Nazareth. Jesus said to him, their welfare you shall seek, their misfortune you shall not seek. For anyone who touches them is regarded as if you were touching the apple of his eye. Basically, he's warning Onkelos, saying, I touched them, I messed with them, don't do it. Like, it's really bad. They are the apple of his eye. They are God's favorite. Onkelos said to him, what is the punishment for you? Jesus said to him, he is punished with boiling excrement. As the master said, anyone who mocks the words of the sages, the rabbis, will be sentenced to boiling excrement. And that was his sin, as he mocked the words of the sages. The Gemara then comments, come and see the difference between the sinners of Israel and the prophets of the nations of the world. As Balaam, who was a prophet, wished Israel harm, whereas Jesus the Nazarene, who was a Jewish sinner, sought their well-being. Now, that's important to note, because they're saying here, Balaam actively tried to hurt Israel, the Jewish people in the Bible, and he's punished. Now, they claim that Jesus was seeking the well-being of Jews, but he was wrong. He wasn't the Messiah, and he was wrong, and he made fun of the rabbis, or really, he questioned the rabbis. In trying to do what was right, he questioned the rabbis, which
those
was the worst
Pharisees
thing
were a
you
bunch
can
of
do.
scumbags.
Yeah, bro. When you here, he's about to get to a good point.
That's why he receives the worst punishment of all. So yes, they do. If you've heard that they believe he's boiling in shit, yes, not only do they believe that specifically because he questioned the rabbis. The questioning that's being referred to here, if you read the New Testament, you know, when Jesus speaks to the Pharisees, he who is without sin shall cast the first stone, all that is what they're referring to. Because he did that, Jews believe he is burning in like a pot, I guess, of boiling shit. You may be asking yourself, what the fuck?
Yeah, wait, hold on. Pause it real quick.
Such a shocking piece of information. It has.
Isn't the same book that they wrote this in the same book that they said that it's okay for them to do things I'm not going to say out loud?
It's right here.
For young girls that are age 3 or younger, that it doesn't count.
So this is what they say. If a grown-up man has had, you know what, with a little girl less than 3 years old, or if a young boy, so they're basically, the Mishnah is in every synagogue in the world. All right, this is the law of the Judeo religion. Okay, this is they're built on law, so they're talking about the contract when a woman gets married. If these things had happened to them, or they're talking specifically about women. Okay, just to lay the context. So when they get married, do they get money? Do they not? How much do they get? So they said, basically right here, in each of these cases, this is what they talk about. A girl who is engaged in, you know what, when she is less than 3 years old, she is still considered a virgin when she gets married because her hymen will grow back. And a woman who engaged in that as well with a boy who was under 9 is also considered a virgin. For that, with a boy of that age, is not considered a significant sexual act. And a woman
disgusting
whose hymen was ruptured as a result of an accident is still entitled to ketubah of 200 denarim, for she did not lose her virginity through intercourse. These are the words of their rabbi. Okay. And so if you notice,
I'm sorry. I choose Jesus every day.
I mean,
7 days a week, 365 days a year, 366 on leap year. I don't even think it's close. And isn't there something else in there where they talk about circumcision and rabbis slurping? I remember seeing some cases where there was a bunch of children that got the herpes.
Yeah, there's
a
whole bunch of stuff here. Let me
what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, there's here, let me find the channel that I was watching the other day. So essentially realize that they're not talking about how what happens to the little girl. They're not worried about the little boy. They're worried about if their hymen will grow back, to see if they're still considered a virgin if they get popped again, if they can get popped their cherry again. And then they don't care what happened to the girl, if she's emotionally okay, or if everything. So this is what I just want you to understand. This is the religion that the state of Israel is claiming to be behind and represent. All right. This is the same country through that religion. And I'm not, look, this is
the
their
religion
law
that Trump's daughter and the Clintons' daughter converted to. Like chose. Not was like born into. It's like, yeah, you know, my parents were, I don't really follow. But like these scumbags married off their daughters and chose to be like, yep, there you go. Now we can make a lot of money and have some power.
I do want to get back to some of this stuff here. So stay on topic. It's easy to draft off topic here, but let's see what Homeboy said. Let me read a couple of these super chats because we do have a few here, just 2 or 3. F35 JSF $5. Thank you, big man, big lady. Thank you, boss. I feel like a chump. Used to watch Fox. Loved Sean Hannity and Mark. they talked about preserving the Constitution when they have been trampling on it all along. Yeah, they are literally trying to silence people. They're literally working for a foreign agent that is behind our backs, secretly or not so secretly now, working
And they're
for a
covering
foreign
up
agent.
for people that abuse children. Like
Yeah.
let's continue to hammer that home. You know, that's why scumbags like Dan Bongino, I will never, till the day I die, I will be making content talking about how bad I feel for his daughters and that I hope that they marry somebody really, really nice, a really, really nice Christian that will change their name so that they don't have to be Bonginos anymore. Because as long as they're Bonginos, people are going to know that their daddy is a protector of the PDFs. Sorry, I don't mean to get off track. I just had to throw that out there.
Chief strategy. I'm
I got
putting
you
a
back, Thomas Massey.
registered foreign agent. Foreign. All right. In the YouTube polls on my channel, I created a poll. Do you know that Charlie Kirk Show's network chief strategy officer is a foreign agent? Please vote in the poll. Let me know if you knew that already before I brought it out. Advanced Conspiracy, thanks for the $10. That's for you, big man.
Thank you, buddy.
And Kai
Jay
Brees
Breach.
also, same thing. Thank you for the supers. So let's check this out and see what Anomaly, aka Dream Rare, has said.
Yo, shout out to Anomaly. Yo, he raps too, you know.
Propaganda into United States
Oh, he does?
Coming out, FBI
media? Yes, and give me a minute of your time. Last year, former campaign manager for Donald Trump, Brad Parscale, registered as a foreign...
This music won't get me hit with it demonetized, right?
It might. I don't know.
Hope not.
I don't know. Might have to save that for the members only.
We could try it to see what happens, maybe.
foreign agent for Israel. According to his foreign agent registration,
Actually, he says everything here, so I'll just repeat it. I don't know, whatever.
he was tailoring content to Gen Z audiences, and one of the bullet points was integration of narrative messaging into Salem Media Network properties and aligned distribution channels. Reports showed that it was a $6 million contract, $1.5 million per month, but then it was extended to $9 million. And in January of last year, Salem Media Group announced that Brad Parscale would be their chief strategy officer. So since his foreign registration that he had to integrate,
we could just put it, he put it, I curiously just looked up what they own. It's a lot. Townhall.com, redstate.com, PJ Media, Hot Air, Twitchy, Bearing Arms. Apparently 95 stations across 35 markets, a massive amount of digital Christian properties. Plenty of news hosts either work directly with Salem or let them do distribution for their show. And I saw that last year as well. After Brad Parscale got there, Salem Media Group announced a landmark deal with Don Trump Jr. and Lara Trump, where Salem would acquire 30% stake in Don Jr.'s app, while the Trumps obtained an undisclosed equity stake in Salem Media Group. And in their press release, they said that they're just their business partners with Salem. They also now have a significant ownership stake in the company. So I don't know who at Salem is pushing Israeli propaganda, but clearly their CSO, according to this registration, pretty much he's getting paid to do that. I wonder how many people accusing
of being a foreign agent when he's countering mainstream media propaganda and clearly doesn't work for Israel. I wonder how many of the people accusing him are doing what they accuse. The Jerusalem Post reported inside Israel's Esther project, Justice Department filing exposes secret influencer PR campaign, so there's definitely a budget for that. And Trump himself said he took $250 million from an Israeli-American mega donor who, in tandem with her husband when he was alive, Trump said would aggressively ask him to do things for Israel. That's really all they ever ask for, and Trump does things for Israel for them, and Trump even said he thinks that she probably likes Israel more than America.
Miriam gave my campaign indirectly
250 million. I think they had more trips to the White House than anybody else I can think of. My husband was a very aggressive man, but I loved him. And what he did is he fought for Israel. That's all he really fought for. What do you love more, the United States or Israel? She refused to answer. That might mean Israel.
But nothing to see here, folks.
Now, isn't that questioning dual loyalty? Isn't that anti-Semitic?
That's a good point.
I guess they let it slide when you fight their wars for them and sacrifice your citizens to bomb other countries.
Hey, cool your tit. Jeez, we're getting crazy.
Sorry.
Become a member for 99 cents if you want to be a part of the Dankster apparatus. Thank you for joining, C-Don. Pleasure to have you. Christy Hughes for you, Bays. Thank you. And Marie Pickard, big Dankster in the building. The Talmud was written at a time when our European ancestors were sacrificing humans to pagan gods. There are equally disgusting passages in the Christian Bible and Quran. Just ask me about them. Yeah, I know that there's a lot of concerning stuff in the Old Testament specifically. However, look, I'm learning about all of this stuff. If you want to go see, I think you watched my show on Sunday, going deep into it. I think that the New Covenant, okay, we don't believe in this stuff. I've read the Bible, not all of it, but I've read a lot of it, and I need to do more due diligence. However, there's not this type of disgusting stuff in the Bible. I mean, unless I've missed some things.
Well, no. She's talking about after the Bible. She's talking about around, from like 400 or 500 AD, because that's when the Talmud was written in the 500 ADs. Same thing with the Quran. And back then, when Christianity was spreading, basically everybody was just offing each other. There was a lot of evil going around in the name of all religions. And her point is that a lot of the power structures that were representing or claiming to represent Christianity in those times were not saints. That they were not following the scripture.
Oh, for sure.
That they were doing evil themselves. And that a lot of what was written in the Talmud was written in retaliation and out of resentment and defiance for sins that were committed against them.
Do you know any of equally disturbing stuff like what we just read from the Mishnah or from any of these things that would be in the Bible that is equally compelling as far as gross, disgusting stuff that's in the Bible?
Well, I mean, maybe if the pedos that were getting, moved around throughout the Catholic Church, maybe if they tried to rewrite the Bible at a certain time, there would have been something. No, that's a bad joke. But no,
there's definitely
not.
There are some things where there's younger. I've actually, not thinking about it, I have read some things. I don't remember the passages or anything like that. I have to look it up. But there are some things that deal with younger women or things of that nature. You got to remember, they didn't have this 18 or older law back then. So I couldn't imagine what it was like back in the day, what their relationships were like and stuff. So I'm sure it was not too great. Thank you for the super chat. Yeah, I definitely want to learn more about all of that as well. I'm going to pull up Valhalla VFT because he did cover the post last night. And I'm
I sent you the timestamp. It was around the 34 minute and something mark, 34 minute and change.
Let's pull it up right here. So
shout out to Nate, Valhalla VFT. He's a real one. One of my favorites in the business.
By foreign agent. His post here.
Here we go.
Immediately oh, wow, that's not good for the prosecution. And for all these people that are involved. Next, I want to talk about these same people that are going to come out and grift and have been grifting and saying, hey, shut up, you shut your mouths, you guys can't question this, you got to believe the FBI narrative. So a couple of the stories, I believe the initial story actually was done by Danks. We're going to look at his post here, but Bayes covered this. And it talks about, guess what? All the 7K Club, they got exposed for being part of an agency that's getting paid off by foreign agents.
This made his day.
Yeah. And it's pretty much proven now. So let's jump into that story because it's also going to be relevant to all of the people Officer Tatum and
Now, I feel bad a little bit about Officer Tatum. I didn't know that he left.
Why? He's a scumbag.
But he's not.
He's
not,
pushing the
but he's
narrative
still
as hard
pushing
as
the thing there.
anybody.
That's
If
true.
anything,
I
it's
should feel
even
bad.
worse that he left and he's still doing it.
That's true. You're
Screw
right.
that guy.
You bring a good
I
point.
saw the chat that they don't want me to say the F word as much, and I'm sorry. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. I promise.
Prager and all of these Shapiro,
Don't worry, bro. If it happens,
all of these people that have been championing the
they know the only place to get the real deal Holyfield is right here. Put on those earmuffs if you need to, my girls.
FBI narrative is true, looks like have been getting paid by Israel to do it. So we'll get into that story next. Okay. Let's actually watch Bayes' video, then we'll look at Danks' actual post on this.
The Charlie Kirk show.
Oh, let me restart this one.
Nate's got good taste in content, just saying.
All right, here we go.
Well, the Charlie Kirk show, Josh Hammer, Dennis Prager, Lara Trump, Dinesh D'Souza, however you pronounce that asshole's name, and scumbag Brandon Tatum, along with others, are all affiliated with Salem Media. So Salem Media's chief strategy officer is a man named Bradley Parscale. Now, if you remember that name, Bradley Parscale, it's from those FARA documents that we've been talking about that came out in September after Charlie died. We have it on the record and verified that Bradley Parscale is a registered foreign agent with our not-so-greatest ally. When you look at the big picture with his alleged mental instability, his history of double-crossing Donald Trump, the fact that
Get out of here, bro. Based? I'm going to just keep it. I'll keep it light.
he is an Israeli foreign
We're
agent.
all up. This is America.
He
We're
gets
up
basted
and
in his ass by Blake. No, I'm kidding. I'm sorry. I get up. It's a
Black Line Brief is a loser.
agent that he worked with Charlie Kirk for about
Let me tell you why. He tells me. He emails me
I
like
knew it.
20 times. I could show you the thread. You guys want to see? Don't worry.
Story
out.
time with Danks.
Yeah, he wants to air me out. Okay, that's fine. He won't stop. I told him to stop. All right, let's go. All right, let's see.
You know, you could
Okay.
play this amazing video while we're waiting. 10 years that his name is on the FARA documents as an agent for Israel just weeks after Charlie Kirk was assassinated. When Charlie Kirk was assassinated, days after saying that he was thinking about leaving the pro-Israel cause, allegedly assassinated. But we'll get back to that later. All right, so the Charlie Kirk show.
Okay, now Bayes broke a lot of that down, but here's the actual reporting. This was done by Danks. And as it says here, do you know that Charlie Kirk show, Josh Hammer, Dennis Prager, Lara Trump, Larry Elder, Hugh Hewitt, Dinesh D'Souza, Sebastian Gorka, Brandon Tatum, Todd Starnes, all broadcast on a network whose chief strategy officer is a federally registered foreign agent for the Israeli government. And here's his actual FARA registration with his FARA registration number. It's all here. It's filed with the Department of Justice. It's all public record. And yes, the broadcast network that pays all of these fucking people, right, then runs ads agencies and everything for them, their chief strategy officer is a fucking Israeli agent. Isn't that bizarre, isn't it? Yes, with Salem Media Group, the largest Christian conservative network in America, whose chief strategy officer, again, is registered under FARA as a foreign agent for Israel. And here's all the actual documents. You guys can go actually look at the post if you want to, really deep dive it. But as it says here, there is a $729 million Israeli Hasbara budget approved for 2026. That's this year. And tells you how much they're going to spend. And so, yes, $720 million worth of propaganda money to shell out to people like Brandon Tatum and Josh Hammer and Dennis Prager and all of these people. And there it is for you right there in the documents. So, wow. And there's probably a lot more people involved. That was just a small rundown.
Thanks. What happened to you, buddy?
What do you mean?
Oh, no, your face was frozen. I didn't know you were
It's
still
because I'm
listening.
reading something.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, no, you're good. Let me see something real quick. So if we just go over here, all right. So these are all the times that Black Line Brief emailed me. Okay. So I emailed him back.
You're in the
2
zone.
times. I emailed him back a few times. I was very nice with him the whole time. You know, he's a big fan. Freaking amazing episode. Your editing was perfect. I showed a couple of whatever. I shared your video on my live stream yesterday. Some don't know about you, but I try to plug you guys, blah, 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 blah. Whatever. All
I
right.
got these cheeseburgers, man.
Yeah. So then he basically, he asked me 3 times in this email thread, will you do a show with me? Have you had a chance to check out my content? It's different than yours. And I work full time. He says he does jujitsu. I hope you like my approach, delivery, quality. Have you had any thoughts of doing a collab? If not, totally cool. I get it. I'm a very small channel, and our channel, So I was very nice. And I said, hey, brother, I really appreciate you reaching out. Right now, I'm keeping my circle very tight. I've learned the hard way that the relationships that work best in this space are the ones that develop organically over time. The people I collaborate with regularly are people I've built deep trust with. Through months of working together behind the scenes. That's just how I operate, and it's nothing personal at all. What I will tell you is this. What you're building is genuinely impressive. 7K subs in a few weeks, 92 paid members, 1K a week growth, all working 60 hours a week, training JIT, being a husband and father, brother. Most creators would kill for those numbers with 0 obligations. You've clearly found something that resonates. That's not luck. That's you. Here's what I want you to hear. This path you're on is one of the most rewarding things you'll ever do. The fact that you've hit this quickly tells me that you have something real. Protect that. Keep building your brand, your voice, your audience. The creators who win long-term are the ones who become irreplaceable on their own before they ever need a collab. You're already doing that. Nothing's off the table down the road. Life has a way of bringing the right people together at the right time. For now, keep doing exactly what you're doing. I'm watching. I'm supporting from my side, and I'm genuinely rooting for you. Keep going. You're on the right track. He says, I genuinely appreciate every word. Not too long after this, bash me. So then he was talking about Barron, saying, why doesn't Barron, all this drama stuff, which, goes on behind the scenes, it's not necessary. So he said that why doesn't Barron talk about how Jesse's theory is not helping the Charlie Kirk investigation, and why does he entertain all of this stuff, blah, blah, blah. So then I went and I corrected him, and I sent him this clip. And I said, why are you saying that Barron never said this stuff?
Or anyone watch the Jesse on Fire series about Charlie Kirk? I definitely do not want to believe it's possible, but after watching it, is it? Let me say this about that series, because I'm getting a lot of questions about it.
I defended Barron because Black Line Brief talks a lot of shit, and he doesn't do any research. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Yeah,
he trashes Barron. He trashes me. He flat out lied about Bayes. He says Barron is not defending the integrity of the case because of what Jesse's opinions are. And basically, I'm not going to play this whole 5-minute clip. Maybe I can find it at the end. He basically says, look, this is not great for the investigation, but it's great content. Let me see if he says it up front.
Anything's possible. I don't believe he's alive.
Maybe
I
I'll
believe
play
he's
the whole
100% dead. But I'll say this about that series, because Jesse's kind of painting him in a sympathetic light. In other words, like he had to do this in order to not go to prison or, not get killed, or I'm not sure exactly where he's going with it. But here's my contention. If Charlie Kirk faked his death, and if he's letting all these people investigate his death, all these people spend all this time and energy and resources flying all over the country, interviewing people, looking stuff up, talking to people, calling people. If he's allowing his wife's entire past, which had largely flown under the radar. I mean, honestly, did anyone know Erica Kirk had been creeping around with 15-year-olds before this happened? No. Did anybody know she'd been sitting talking about McDonald's sandwiches? No. Did anybody know she'd been shacking up with different professional ball players on different continents? No.
Different
Anybody know that
continents.
that's the reason she lived in Puerto Rico, and that's the reason she lived in China, was to shack up with a ball player, not to do mission? No. Did anybody ever look into the Romanian orphanage and all the scandals? No. Had anybody ever looked at her mom or her dad? Or no. So if Charlie Kirk, just on that alone, if by faking his death, if that's Jesse's contention, and I think it is, it's at least his thought exercise. If by faking his death, it would mean his wife is just absolutely throttled all day, every day in huge swaths of media, then he's evil on that alone. You cannot let people talk poorly about your spouse. Period. End of story. You say whatever you want to say about me. Don't talk bad about my wife. Don't talk bad about my kids. Don't cause any trouble. Keep voting Republican. Keep voting for the mainstream slop. Everything's going to be fine. Jeff Sessions is your hero. Oop, Jeff Sessions is gone. Next guy's your hero. Bill Barr's your hero. They're lining up all these secrets. They're just any day now they're going to just run in and Q sidelined more than 10 or 12 million people who would have been politically active going, why is Trump not delivering what he promised? And that's my fear with Jesse's video, is that he will take people out of the investigatory game trying to get to the bottom of it.
That is exactly what Black Line Brief said. Why doesn't Barron say? And he trashed Barron for that, saying this isn't cool. Like, I don't know why Barron doesn't just replicate like what he said, what I said about Barron said it long before. This is from a while ago.
Because they think, what's the use? He's still alive. That's my only fear. That doesn't mean that I don't think Jesse should be doing the program. It's been very interesting. And maybe he'll dig something up that'll change my mind. I'm open to it. I'm open to anything. The only thing I'm not open to is Tyler Robinson planned it alone and did it with a 30-06 from the local center.
So I showed him that and I said, hey, bro, I'm reaching out again because I'm finding out that you're saying Barron is making excuses for Jesse on Fire's theory. That's not accurate. I'm attaching Barron's own words so to help correct that record and show what you said. Show you what he said. Here's a summary, whatever. Watch that clip, listen to his words, and ask yourself if what you said on stream was accurate. I'm looking out for you here. If someone did this to you, took your words, reframed them, and presented them to an audience as something you never said, you'd want someone to tell you. That's what I'm doing. Tighten up. The people in the space who are doing real work deserve better than being mischaracterized because someone didn't do their homework first. All right? The guy got super sour at me afterwards. Look at how afterward he just sends me these. That's really weird. People in your chat would say that I gave you tons of credit for your research and da 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 da. But whatever, bro. Just like, guy's just like an emotional trigger, man. He's just.
It sounds to me like he just got a little jealous because he wanted to be a part of that Saturday show.
As soon as I send him that
email, Saturday night show is the best show on YouTube, hands down.
I don't like talking bad about people. I'm not even really talking bad about them. I'm just saying, like, you're gonna keep firing shots at me. You're gonna fire shots at my homies. You're gonna fire shots at Jesse. I might fire one big missile back, and I'll be done. Like, this is the last time you're gonna get any airtime on my show. That's for sure. So, you had your 15 minutes of fame and enjoy it, bro. Good luck.
Black Line Beat.
I hope your life goes well, and I hope your channel goes well, and everything. Like I've always said. But I told you, bro. I told you to stop. You haven't stopped. You talk shit on Kelly, talk shit on me, talk shit on Bayes, Jesse, even Barron at points. And you don't do research, man. You're lazy. You just pull up clips. You're not breaking any news. You're just a commentator that has a set that looks just like Barron's. And I don't know. I don't know what else to say about you, bro. Yeah, there's nothing else to say, really. So anyways, back to the investigation. You guys can clip it. You can send it to him. I don't care. He's never going to get an email opened by me again. He's never going to get any attention. He can say all that he wants. I don't care. I think that he is like we'll do one more little airtime for him because I want to show you something. When you have a channel, all right, that only does TPUSA content, you're going to have I'll give you a word of advice, bro. You're going to have a very tough time. You're going to have a very tough time doing anything else. All right. I highly encourage you to make additional content that also meshes together with your current TPUSA stuff. Because honestly, bro, if it's just TPUSA and that's all you've ever done, what happens next later? I don't know. Hopefully you can grow, but at the end of the day, man, you're not bringing anything to the table, bro. So that's why I don't have you on my show. That's why I think that you're irrelevant in my eyes. All right. So they added the Charlie Kirk Network as the weekly day lineup, Salem Media. All right. Salem Media Group. They've put them in the timeline. I've showed you this. Now, if we go and we look at all of the things that they do here, when I was talking about, we're going to talk about Josh Hammer. Okay. And he said, oh, that's funny. That's rich. He talks about Blake too. Really? Yeah, that's sad.
Shout out to Blake. I hope he's doing
I hope Blake is his own dude, and I think that he
yeah, I mean, the majority of the chat, I mean, I think at this point knows that something had gone on there, but I've made it clear that I don't have any hard feelings towards Blake. I like to troll him from time to time. Like I trolled him the other day when that picture came out. When somebody was trying to say it was a picture of him at UVU the day that Charlie left the board. And I was like tagging everybody. I'm like, I told you guys not to trust him. Yo, he got so mad.
Chat doesn't like Blake. And don't bring Big Black up.
No,
Blake is
no,
a
we're
snake.
not bringing him back on. Don't worry. But I'm just saying that I don't have any. Like, I don't carry any ill will for him. I try not to carry ill will towards anybody, to be honest. You know, I'll call out scumbags all day, but like I don't actually like hate these people. I don't wish ill on anybody. But like even Blake, especially, like, you know, me and him had a little thing, and I talked a little bit of crap, which I was very, very I think I was very validated in that. But I wish him well. I genuinely do. As far as like my take on the whole Black Line Brief thing, I didn't even know who he was. Like you know, we're doing a stream, Danks, me, Kelly, Blake, and all of a sudden this guy, you know, pops up in the chat, and Blake just leaves the stream, like doesn't say a word, just like checks out. And I'm like, all right, like I didn't even put 2 and 2 together right away. And then I had found out that was the guy that was like emailing Danks, begging for the collaboration. And then all of a sudden he's like hawking our chat on Saturdays because he was jealous that he wasn't a part of it. And that Blake had done collaborations with him, and apparently they talked a little bit of crap. And then when Black Line Brief was in the chat, Blake ran away.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a weirdo, bro. I mean, I don't, that's all backdoor drama that I really don't care to air out too much of, but
well, I thought maybe give a little context. We did just sit here listening to 15 minutes reading emails. That's a little bit of backdoor.
Well, the issue is that Blake has told us, hey, like I've told Black Line Brief to stop and whatever, he hasn't stopped. So Blake has texted with me. I have no issues with Blake. I haven't talked shit about Blake at all. I don't really talk shit about people. It's not my thing. I think more importantly, we just need to like you say, we all raise each other, man. And if we work together in that regard, that's all that really matters for me, bro. And I'm not about bringing people on that I don't identify with or that I don't have a natural relationship with. Jesse and I have been friends since the month before. I don't know, around, I think it was like September, right around then, or before or after, I can't remember, of Charlie Kirk. And he's been on my show now twice, and I've only asked him once, you know, and it's not like I've never intentionally. The only reason I asked him is because the audience wanted him to have him come on. I like, these are things that naturally occur. You and I naturally built this relationship, and I'm glad to have it. I love you like a brother, and we have a great working and friendship relationship. So that's important to me, and it's very clear. Like I said in the email, I said, this is like, I even sent him an email back saying, like, you proved to me why I need to keep my circle tight. All right. And why authentic relationships are the only ones that I prefer to do business with, because I can't trust people, man. I've been backstabbed way too many times. I've been taken advantage of way too many times by people that I thought were my friends. And I'm very careful, right? Even recently, like before Bayes and all that, I had somebody else that I was doing shows with, and some things kind of got weird, and I backed out. So from then on, you don't see me do shows with anybody else but Bayes, American Discourse, which I love. I think she's great. Kelly, you know, and that's it, really. And then a few other people. Tomorrow, I'm going on Sabby Sab's show. She offered me to come on the show and do a segment. So I'd love to be a part of that, you know, and I'm on Mr. Let Go. We do it together. So we're friends, though. Mr. Let Go has my cell phone number, you know. So this is how I encourage anyone who's doing this business operate. You know, you don't just try to take advantage of somebody else because they have a larger channel. You don't try to ask you don't ask people. It's just bad taste to ask people to go on their show through email when you've never talked. Like, I just find that very, unless you guys are doing the same thing and talking about something, and then like the audience wants to get together, or you're covering something similar.
I know, it's like finding out that your friend got a promotion and then you try to borrow money from them. It's just like, it's a bad feeling.
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous. Let me see. We're going to look at a couple of takes. I want you to see, it's important that you see the way that these people, the propaganda machine, really does work. I'm just going to pull up some random clips with Josh Hammer. and we're just going to see what this guy.
Do you feel betrayed by Andrew?
I'm not happy about the situation. I have told Andrew this myself, so I am not telling you and your audience anything that I have not told Andrew directly. Look, I think I mean Andrew has apologized to me in private. Here's the problem, Aaron. The problem is that whatever the intentions may or may not have been, and if all these stages of the operation are as we believe them to be, Rabbi Wilicki and others and myself, it does look like Joe Ken for sure is the guiltiest party here, although Andrew should have known better. He should have not have shared this with an individual like this. But Joe Ken is, if he was the leaker to Candace, is the guiltiest party. And frankly, he should be prosecuted because you
Look at how they.
It's so crazy. It's so crazy.
Like what leaker? What? What do you mean? Andrew Colvett leaked the information. You have Farnsworth leaking information, and then you want to go. They're trying anything they can.
This is coming from the guy. This is coming from the guy who, when Charlie first left the board, was going around on every platform that would stick a camera in his face, trying to plug his book. You guys remember that when he's saying, "Oh yeah, Charlie, before he died, he told me he was looking forward to my book and that he thought it was going to be great, and that my book is called. You could buy it now. You know what I mean? Like it's almost like Rabbi Shmuley. Like when Charlie left the board, Rabbi Shmuley was on social media saying that he's so afraid for his life right now because Charlie got killed. That if you guys can donate money, because he wants to, upgrade his security and invest in more equipment and cameras and whatnot. He actually said this. Thanks. Can you actually find that one? The
Which
Rabbi
one?
Shmuley. Look for the post that Rabbi Shmuley made after Charlie Kirk died, saying that he was asking for money, like GoFundMe style, so that he can improve his security. Like these people are parasites. Parasites. I'll find it. Do your thing. I don't mean to put you on the spot searching for stuff. I'll find it right now and I'll send it to you.
Yeah, there's a bunch of. I mean, I wanted to show. This is right here is on the Charlie Kirk network. So I want you to imagine like Salem Media, right? Salem Media runs the network, and Charlie Kirk's show is on the network. Josh Hammer signed with the network in October of 2025. All right. So this is Salem Media Network at its finest right here. This is 9 months ago, though, right before Charlie Kirk was dead and right before Josh Hammer joined the network. So let's see what they're talking about here.
This is one of the most astonishing victories from any president of the United
And this is right after they did Midnight Hammer in Iran.
States in my entire lifetime. Full stop. I mean, hard stop. End of story. I mean, this is incredible legacy defining stuff. Charlie, you and I are roughly around the same age. I'm a few years older. I think I'm 36. But for my entire adult lifetime, the Iranian nuclear program has been one of those thorny, recurring, ongoing debates. It's been this hovering sword of Damocles over the Middle East, over the United States, over Western civilization. What do we do? What do we not do? Do we reach a deal like Barack Obama did in 2015? Do we try to just bomb them? Is there going to be a forever war, regime change war? Are we just going to let it stick and let them get nuclear? It's been in a debate for literally as long as I've been following politics. Donald Trump, in roughly 37 hours from those B-2s taken off in Missouri, going to Iran, dropping the 14 bunker busters, those Tomahawk missiles from the nuclear submarine, and then returning home, in 37 hours, without a single shot being fired on a B-2, he has single-handedly changed the face of the region and arguably the world. He has neutralized.
Isn't that crazy? This is the talking points that network is spitting out. And we were all back then saying, all of us, I know you, even though we weren't doing much on YouTube at the time, Jesse on Fire, a lot of the Young Turks, they were all saying the same thing. This is not going to be the end of it. You guys are out of your mind. And it felt crazy for people like this to call this an astonishing victory. Okay. This is an astonishing victory. So let's look this up real quick. So if we look at, here's the picture. I want to find out if they've ever had 90% or more grade uranium. Here's a documented history timeline. 2003 to 06, they enriched to 3.5% reactor grade, enough for civilian power, not a bomb. 2010, they pushed to 20%. Getting to 20 fast means getting to 90 is not that far technically. And then they had 20%. You need 90% plus. There's no reason to go over 70%. All right, because that means that you're getting there. Now, this is where they say, and I'm not saying that they have or haven't, but they start like if you you have to think about it like this. If you are being targeted over nuclear, they're going to take you out, all of this stuff, then you probably would want to try to protect yourself. That way they don't mess with you anymore. I'm not defending it, but all I'm going to say is if the whole Western world is trying to come out and say, we're going to take over Iran, they're, enriching uranium, pushed to 20% in 2010, 2015, Iran agreed to a 3.67% cap. Trump pulls out of the JCPOA in 2015. So they agreed and they came to an agreement to say any stockpilage they would get rid of. Okay. So once Trump pulls out of the JCPOA, then Iran starts stepping up over the limits in response. 4.5%, 20, then 60%. Now, apparently in 2023, the IAEA confirmed Iran had enriched uranium to 83.7%. That is one step from weapons grade. Iran called it accidental. Nobody believed that. I probably wouldn't either. 2024 to present, Iran sitting at 60% as their official declared level, but stockpile size is the bigger issue. They have accumulated enough 60% enriched uranium that breakout time, meaning the time to get enough weapons grade uranium for one bomb is estimated at less than 2 weeks by some analysts. The honest answer, Iran has never officially tested or deployed a nuclear weapon, but they have had 60% enriched uranium. Now, this is not civilian energy. That is a program with nowhere else to go. Okay. There's what do you need? What else would you need besides the bomb itself to make a nuclear weapon deploy? And how long would it take? I'm thinking
also,
planes. Go ahead.
All percentages of enriched uranium that they ever had was all totals that met the threshold that was agreed upon with the U.S. government.
Yeah.
It's not like they were told like in a deal like, all right, keep it at 30%, and they found it that it was 60%. Like I believe it was 65%. They had agreed.
They had agreed on not to go over 3.5%. I don't know the full details. I don't want to speak on it. Iran could probably detonate. Okay, so it says Iran probably cannot launch a nuclear-tipped ICBM today. Iran could probably detonate a nuclear device on its own territory via proxy today if the material were fully weapons grade. The gap between those two things is miniaturization and delivery system integration. All right. So you would need the warhead itself. You would need a nuclear device, could be the size of a room, to put it on a missile or a plane. It has to be small enough and light enough to fit. This is the hardest engineering part. The U.S. took years to solve it in the 50s with unlimited resources. Iran's miniaturization capability is the single most debated question in intelligence right now. You need a delivery system. Ballistic missiles they do have. You need aircraft. They operate a F-4 Phantom and some domestically produced jets. Perhaps they have it, perhaps they don't. But at the end of the day, do you think that, let me just ask you an honest opinion. Do you think this is why we're there today? You, Baze.
Oh, you're asking me? Oh, what is that, a rhetorical question? Hell no.
Honestly, why not?
Hell no.
You don't think it's, what do you think it's about?
What do you mean? They've always wanted to take over all these countries.
They've been saying this.
They've been saying it since the 90s.
40 years.
Yeah.
So.
And they already checked every other country off the list. Iraq, Afghanistan, Syria, Libya. What were the other ones? Sudan. One more.
Mm-hmm.
What am I missing?
Lebanon.
Was it Lebanon? Yeah, Lebanon.
Yeah, well, look at what they're doing right now. Here, I'll just put it on.
Oh, it's terrible. It's terrible what's going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
In Lebanon, there's over 1 million people that are displaced and 1,000 dead. And there's well over 1,000 dead in Iran.
So in the 23 days since the war in Iran began, how many children have been killed? Well, 206 children killed in Iran and 118 children have been killed in Lebanon. But wait, Lebanon? Our press almost never talks about Lebanon, but what's going on in Lebanon? The Israeli empire expands. So they're a fascist empire. The whole point of starting all these wars is not self-defense. It's a giant lie and Israeli propaganda told by most of the American media. And I'm going to prove it to you in this segment because we actually have the facts and we have the truth on our side. All they have is propaganda on their side. So the reality is, while everyone else is distracted, Israel is invading southern Lebanon. And
you don't hear this coming out of Salem Media, do you?
No.
I mean, we could probably do a search and let's see if, or we could go on Rumble and say, let's type in Josh Hammer, Israel, Lebanon. Does he have anything? Israel civilization, confronts the campaign. Nothing on Lebanon, huh? Fight for Israel. Let's just type in Lebanon itself. Let's see what they say.
Yeah,
anything?
I have files on this. I could pull up.
Yeah, pull it up.
I'll pull that while I'm searching this and getting all the analytics. Why don't you play that Rabbi Shmuley thing since we kind of went off topic with that? Because I only need 2 minutes for this.
Hi everyone. It's odd to have to make this comment from a hospital where I am right now. But
ultimate scumbag.
I know Charlie Kirk extremely well. We've been friends for more than a decade. As we pray for his complete recovery in his life, and we should all be praying. I have to say I'm not in any way surprised or shocked. The culture of demonization,
I remember,
especially
he's a rabbi. You're not supposed to question rabbis. Remember what happened to Jesus.
Israel activists, and he's so pro-Israel on campus.
Oh wait, hold on. If he's a rabbi, does that mean that he might have been doing some of that slurping?
I think that's part of their job. No. Slurpity slurp.
Yo, you ever see the movie The Labyrinth?
I don't.
David Bowie and Jennifer Connelly. Yo, I guarantee our chat. Yo, chat, hit a 1 if you've seen The Labyrinth. It came out in like '85. Movie's a classic. If you haven't seen it, you got to watch it. Yo, he looks just like, I don't remember the character's name, but yo, hold on. I'm gonna send you this one real quick too. He really does. He looks just like. Hold on. Keep going. Keep playing it.
And I live with lethal threats every day of my life, and it shocks my wife and my children and all the people around me.
On the day that Charlie Kirk was shot and killed at a public event at a Utah University campus, and before he was announced dead, Rabbi Shmuley proved yet again just how disgusting he really is. He exploited the situation to not only spread propaganda, but to raise money, literally for himself. I'm not exaggerating. So in an X post yesterday, Rabbi Shmuley wrote, "Today, as we witnessed yet another attempt to silence pro-Israel voices, we are reminded of the constant threats facing Rabbi Shmuley. For years, he has stood boldly for Israel and the Jewish people, yet he has been physically assaulted in Vienna, Miami, Sydney, and even in Times Square. The dangers are real, and they only continue to grow. To ensure his safety and his ability to continue this vital work, we urgently need to raise funds for cameras, fencing, and professional security personnel. Without these protections, Rabbi Shmuley and his family remain exposed to unacceptable risks." So I'm guessing that the dildo business isn't bringing in the money, so he's got to capitalize on a tragic event to raise money for his own security.
So let's take a look and see here. What businesses does Rabbi Shmuley own? Net worth.
Yo, put that picture on the screen while you're doing this too. The one I just sent you. Tell me it doesn't look just like him. Come on.
Which one? Oh, jeez. That's
Come
awful.
on, chat. Put a 1 in the chat if you think that looks like Rabbi Shmuley.
That's terrible. That's terrible. Okay.
Yo, come on. All
right. Let's see. So, World Values Network. He's had a nonprofit since 2007. Net worth is somewhere between 5 and 20 million, and we know that these are always off, probably under. His net worth is not publicly disclosed. So they're using, imagine using the death of Charlie Kirk, okay? The death of Charlie Kirk to ask for money, all right? Because what? Because you said, okay, so let's find out why that would be the case. Because when you look at
piece of shit.
when you look at what they're saying, they're rabbis, right? So look at how they talk, right?
Okay, why don't we listen to some more from this guy?
Can goy or goya
If they are religious in Christianity, they are more wicked than someone that is secular. It's very interesting.
What the hell?
Someone who follow a man-made book and admire JC and follow the New Testament claiming it's the book of God is actually a bigger criminal than someone that lives like an animal, doesn't search for God, doesn't care about religion, just try to be a nice person. And
So they're saying someone that follows the Holy Bible and that believes that Jesus Christ is the Lord and Savior is less than an animal. All right. Not to mention, they've also said that they believe that Jesus is boiling in shit. They also believe that those followers will also die and boil in shit.
And that's it. Why? Because he has one extra crime that this one doesn't have. They both do not follow the divine laws, the original divine laws, but the secular one.
He's talking about the Noahide laws, by the way.
There is a fake prophet.
Is this who my tax dollars are going to?
Or son of God, or this is a divine book. He never claimed such thing. The Christian claimed this false information. So he actually modified the truth of the holy truth of God. Someone who replaced God with a fake, or his real prophet with a fake prophet, or the real Torah with a fake book, obviously is a bigger criminal than someone who doesn't believe in anything. Either way, both of them are.
Yep. I just want to ask this guy something. In the history of
There's more I want to show you. It's kind of crazy, bro, what he said about Charlie Kirk. Listen to this.
I wonder how dumb this
of life. Is it that hard to ask for?
I wonder how dumb this goyim sometimes can be. Like they say, you killed our God. That means he wasn't a God.
How crazy. And then they all laugh. Listen to that, bro.
Say, you killed our God. That means he wasn't a God.
Bro, how disgusting, man. These are the people that they're pushing the media through the largest Christian. They call it Judeo-Christian. You understand how that's an oxymoron, right? That doesn't exist.
Yeah,
it's a good time.
Wait, hold on. I just thought about something.
You killed our God.
What's up?
So according to his logic, if America stopped backing our not so greatest ally, and then it ceased to exist in response, according to his logic, maybe it didn't have. Yeah, I shouldn't even. You guys get the idea. You can
Listen
read
to what
between
he's.
the lines.
Listen to what this is just.
God, who was your God? JC. If it was God, we could kill him.
Do you not understand? I'm going to say it again. Do you not understand that he came back to life? No, you don't. You don't get that because you don't believe in it, which is fine. That's well within your rights. You can believe it. It's starting to point to a group of people, and
so he's talking about Charlie Kirk.
I don't know who killed Charlie Kirk still. I'm still kind of confused. But the way this guy talks, it's starting to point to a group of people. And I'm going to leave it at that.
One way or the other, this Charlie Kirk, even though he was good to the Jews, good to Israel, he had good values. He was a preacher of Christianity, a missionary. He affected the life of millions of people to be faithful Christians, which is a cult of idol worshippers. Well, as long as the Goyim follow this, that's their problem. The problem is that he had a lot of Jewish fans. And a lot of these Jewish fans are either stupid or ignorant. So it's very easy to manipulate them. When they see someone speak highly about the Jews or highly about Israel, immediately this person becomes their guru. Let's follow him. He's so talented, he's brilliant, he's great, he's anti-Hamas, he's anti-this. So every Jew has some values or looks for some values, and he's on social media. Who is going to become his rabbi? Charlie Kirk.
Bro, they really think that a Jew is so fickle in their religion that Charlie Kirk would become their rabbi. How insane, the logic. They're so jealous of another human being because they believe that they are equal with God. Okay.
You think that
rabbis
guy
believe-
believes in the Noahide laws?
I don't even know what they are, to be honest.
Why don't you pull that up?
Send it over. I don't know if we should.
And while he turns him into a person who follows more values and religion, which religion he's gonna make him follow? An idol worshipper's religion, Christianity. So that could be, of course, I'm not Hashem. I cannot speak for him, and I'm not his lawyer to explain his opinions and his actions. But I do know Torah. We learn Torah. We learn the principles. And we do know that following and worshiping any idol in the world, you are subject to a death penalty.
So let me.
So they learn the laws. They learn the Torah, which the oral Torah, shall I remind you, is they have the Mishnah here. All right, and this is part of their laws. All right, don't forget this right here. This will, this is not good. I got to be honest with you. So when we're looking at what we are dealing with when it comes to the force-fed propaganda through Salem Media, and we go to americansfortransparency.org, you can see it's not just Clock Tower, all right? We're picking on Clock Tower a lot, and that is the main thing to understand, is that when you look at the fact that they've trashed, I mean, let's find like let's look at who, like Gorka on Tucker Carlson. Let's see what they say. Tucker Carlson's guest defends Hitler, Sebastian Gorka. This is so crazy.
Sammy and I did a little bit the other day about David Cullum, the organic chemist at Cornell that Tucker had on his show. And he basically said we should have sided with Hitler. And he's a conservative, supposedly, Tucker is. But I thought the first thing that came in my mind was we should have sided with Hitler. And therefore, we just gratuitously declared war on Hitler. He declared war on us. And
well, worse than that, the amateur historian who's really...
These people, man, they throw this word out.
Really, an anti-Semite who's saying, well, the on Tucker's show, the real villain of World War II is Churchill, and then Carlson just sagely nods that, oh yes, the man who actually built the gas chambers and who invaded Poland and had a secret pact with Stalin, he's the victim, but the man who helped save Western civilization is the bad guy. I don't know what happened.
I don't know what happened to these. Just listening to the latest one, though, David Cullum, in 30 seconds, he said three things that were completely demonstrably untrue. He said, well, there's 20,000 POWs that we didn't get back from Russia. Well, Russia liberated German camps. They had POWs. They negotiated with us. We were in a bad position because we had freed some Russians in POW camps, and they were going to be killed or worked to death if they went back to Stalin. And Stalin, for a little bit, said...
So that this is just one. I mean, there's a lot against Tucker Carlson.
Fox News loves
this person. This is Sebastian Gorka. He's on the Salem Media News Network.
Itself as a conservative network, a voice for Americans who don't have a home with CNN or MSNBC. But the cold hard truth is that Fox is going woke. It's abandoning its original business model. The Tucker Carlson exit is a prime example of that. And, I wouldn't be surprised if Fox News gave Tucker slot to, I don't know, Liz Cheney for the Rhino Hour. And who knows, maybe the other five is next. I can see Chris Christie, the man who thinks he can beat Trump, Rhino, Liz Cheney, Swampy, as Swamp does, Karl Rove, Dana Perino is there, of course, and Dylan Mulvaney, why not, the voice of trans.
We'll find it right here.
With a hard conservative lean to it. And then for some reason, sadly, we talked about it last night with a couple of people, over the last maybe 5 or 6 years or so, they're pushing to try and maybe cast a wider net to get more people. I mean, they were the #1 cable news network.
Fox needs to be shifting to the left. This isn't what I wanted to show. Let me show you guys something, though. They are, when you notice like the words anti-Semitic and Jew hate, and Jew hate, anti-Semite or anti-Semitic is in blue. Jew hate is in green, racism is in red. So in the early 2000s, you had about a 4x on anti-Semitism for racism and a 42x on Jew hate. All right. Now, racism, the word, this is using the word. All right. So this is indexed relative frequency per million words across English language media from 2000 to 2025. Three things jump out immediately. Racism peaks hard in 2020 during George Floyd and the Black Lives Matter. Then it drops every year after that from 2020. The media machine ran that word into the ground and people started tuning it out. Anti-Semitic or anti-Semite does the opposite. Flat for 20 years. Then October 7th, 2023, it hits and it goes near vertical. All right. Now, as this starts to kind of trim down, I have a feeling, and we'll watch this term Jew hate. Okay. I think that this is going to start coming down because of how much it's being used. And then this is going to increase in the usage of the word. So this is just showing how the frequency of when a word loses its value in the language, they ramp up with a new word. All right. So when this loses its value, I've noticed Jew hate is on the rise. It barely existed, Jew hate, before 2023. It gets invented and deployed in real time post October 7th. A companion with anti-Semitism, 2 new weapons added to the vocabulary in one event. Let's see what else they've got. So let's go back to Americans for Nonprofit Transparency. The whole point of this site actually is to show that they are doing a lot of work in order to spread and take over the media itself. Okay. Show Faith by Works, we've covered a lot of on this channel. If we look at SKDK, they're in charge of public relations. All right. If we look at what is TCG, Media Council and Strategic Communications. All right. We could ask the agent, tell me everything here. Let's do this. Let's stay on the Clock Tower X. All right. Let's ask agent. So I built this site. If you haven't checked it out, it's americansfortransparency.org. So it says, tell me everything about Clock Tower X LLC and how it connects to the FARA investigation. So Agent America is going to do the research and it'll spit out everything that what it knows right away. And then you can converse back and forth. So I built this agent. It's specific to the FARA documents, the people inside of it. Okay. So it says right here, Clock Tower X LLC, the $9 million anti-Semitism pipeline. Brad Parscale, FARA 7649, Trump's 2020 campaign manager, $9 million contract for the Israeli Ministry of Foreign Affairs versus Savas Media Germany, 125 verified FARA documents on file. The contract, the registered stated purpose is anti-Semitism campaign, anti-Semitism campaign, and they target evangelical Christian people. The contract ran through October 2025. Israel stated terminated direct connection and rerouted through Havas intermediary, which is an obfuscation layer. So they're building a padding between, but they're still through the same network. So Clock Tower X built 2 primary propaganda sites, justorium.org, justice framing for pro-Israel content. And we can show you that in just a second. Innovascope.org, innovation framing for tech angle narratives. Both sites use advanced SEO clustering. I'll zoom in a little bit for searches like anti-Semitism or Israel criticism, BDS, Palestinian rights, designed to bury organic results and surface pro-Israel framing instead. Per the FARA documents, AI-driven content optimization, evangelical keyword targeting. So this is their evangelical targeting. Clock Tower X's secondary contract, geofencing plus digital ads served to evangelical churches during services. Same playbook as Show Faith by Works, coordinates with Bridges Partners LLC and Yair and Yuri Steinberg. These are the ones that pay Christian influencers $7K a pop. And they have a unified strategy, capture evangelical vote through coordinated digital and in-person messaging. Brad Parscale, Trump manager, campaign manager, built Trump's data operation. Post-2020, pivoted to Israeli government contracts. Clock Tower X is his primary foreign agent vehicle. No public disclosure of this work until FARA filings surfaced. Parscale also connected to Stagwell, which owns Targeted Communications Global. 308 Trump donation, direct Israel MFA. The money trail. 9 million from MFA of Israel, 2 years. So it explains everything, but they have compliance failures. So the broader pipeline, Havas Media is the funnel. They receive the money from MFA of Israel, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, distributes to FARA, 10 FARA registrants, including Clock Tower, Show Faith by Works, Bridges Partners, Targeted Communications Global, Continental Strategy, Global Point, SKDK, Davis Media, Genesis 21, Blue Light, 259 verified FARA documents, Operation Arctic Frost Connection, the real FBI probe targeting 90 plus Republican entities. Clock Tower X was likely on radar as foreign agent operating within Trump ecosystem. Parscale's involvement in 2020 data operation, foreign agent work post 2020, counterintelligence concern, FBI grand jury subpoenas used against Republican entities per Grassley exposure. And the angle is weaponizing anti-Semitism angle. So bottom line, their $9 million Israeli government propaganda operation run by Trump's 2020 campaign manager, weaponizing anti-Semitism framing to suppress legitimate criticism of Israeli policy. It targets evangelical Christians through geofencing, digital ads, and it's part of a $150 million coordinated influence operation funneled through Havas Media. All right, so let me go to the sites. I'm scared to even go to their sites. Let's see. We could go on a, let's do this. Let me set up a, hold on one second, VPN. It might, hopefully it doesn't slow down my internet too badly. I'll just set one up in the United States.
Thanks. I just need 1 minute. I'm going to be right back, okay?
That's fine. So we're going to set a VPN just in case, protect ourselves. We'll put it in Ohio. Let's see if the internet gets messed up here. Is it? Let's see. Okay, it looks okay. All right. So now we have that. So let's go to this website, Justorium. So this is the website. So these websites are built in order to change the algorithm and actually capture the very people that are searching for specific words on Google or in ChatGPT or any AI segment, okay, or AI vector. So they build metadata and they use generative engine optimization by actually curbing what natural information would be conveyed to the viewer, to the searcher. And as a result, these websites are built to deliberately adjust or change the input or the output the AI would give or the SEO would deliver. So for example, in the US and Israel, justice means order and restraint. Both nations uphold law and due process as the highest standard of civilization, even when confronting violence. Hamas, deliberate targeting of civilians and use of human shields are clear violations of international law. Israel, defensive actions are rooted. So they have all of these things, all right? But these sites are built specifically to gather and get the metadata injected into AI and SEO. So like we'll copy all this, we'll put it in here, all right? Let me put it in here. Let me see. Yeah, so let's do here. I'm going to start a new chat. And we'll just put it in here. Hold on one second. Where is that? Right here, right? Okay. Check this out. I'm going to show you something interesting. Okay. So let's do that. We'll gather justice, Western values. Boom. Okay. I'm going to show you something interesting. This is how this stuff works. All right. Oops. Shit. All right. you'll see exactly what I mean once we explain it. So U.S.-Israel partnership, blah, blah, blah. You can tell, I mean, these sites are nothing but what I'm telling you. They're built for a specific purpose. News and analysis. All right. Okay, here we go. Because I researched all this and I was trying to figure out why and how all this stuff works. Home. Okay. And then we'll take this. Okay. Explain to me how GEO and SEO manipulation on justorium.org is specifically being implemented on this site to manipulate AI and SEO output through the literature on this site. Keep it simple for a YouTube audience watching live to explain the actual inner workings of these sites themselves and the metadata or input on their sites that curb authentic output from an AI or Google search for the viewer, along with the sentiment being fed differently than naturally intended. So then we'll have it explained to us how this stuff works. The goal is to explain SEO. Here is to explain this right here. It's to explain the intel, how this stuff works. Okay, so watch this. Separate this.
I am back. Sorry about that.
How this stuff works. GEO, SEO, manipulation. All right, let's watch it explain how this stuff works. And I'll just read it off as it comes. We're learning here. This is what we do on Dankster Intel. We learn how they feed propaganda through the very chief strategy officer of Brad Parscale. This is one of the most important technical explanations you can give your audience right now, because most people have no idea this is happening at the infrastructure level. Let me break it down from the ground up. Start with how Google and AI actually find information. Think of Google as a librarian who reads every book ever written and builds a card catalog. When you type, "Is Israel committing war crimes?" the librarian doesn't think for itself. It returns whatever books have been written most convincingly, most frequently, and most authoritatively on that topic. That is SEO. It is the art of writing your book so the librarian keeps recommending it above everybody else's books. AI models like ChatGPT, Grok, Gemini work similarly, but go one step further. They do not just index what exists. They read everything that exists and they absorb it. They learn language patterns, factual associations, and sentiment from the text they are trained on. So if the majority of text on the internet about a subject says X, the AI will default to saying X when asked. It has no other reference point and learned from what it read. Now here is where justorium.org comes in. Look at the footer of the site. Two sentences that tell you everything. Justorium powered by Market Brew. And directly below it, it says this material is distributed by Clock Tower X LLC on behalf of the state of Israel. So let's go look at the footer. Right here, it says right here. You can zoom all the way in. This material is distributed by Clock Tower X LLC on behalf of the state of Israel. Additional information at the Department of Justice, which they're talking about the FARA website, Department of Justice. All right. Now, Market Brew is not a regular SEO tool. It is an AI-powered platform that reverse engineers how search engines and large language models rank and retrieve information. The FARA filing for Clock Tower X specifically describes deploying websites and content to deliver GPT framing results on GPT conversations. That phrase, GPT framing, is the technical name for what Justorium is doing. It means building content specifically designed to shape what an AI says when someone asks about Israel. Here is the specific mechanisms explained simply. Traditional SEO works by repeating keywords strategically, building a structure that search engines recognize as authoritative, and getting other sites to link back to yours. Justorium does all of that. If you look at the article titles, you see every high volume Israel related search query being addressed systematically. Iran's missile range, Hamas war crimes, Israel international law, genocide legal definition. We can go look at it. International law accountability. Here, where is it at? U.S. and Israel legal partnership. Allies in liberty and law. It's all in the words here, right? U.S. support for Israel's legal defense, joint counterterrorism framework. These are key words that are searched frequently. War crimes explained, Hamas violations of law, legal precedents, the legal rule Israel uses, how the IDF applies it in practice. Okay? So GEO, generative engine optimization, is when an AI model is trained or updated. It ingests massive amounts of text from the web. The more times a specific factual claim appears in that text, the more confident the AI becomes that the claim is true. So if Justorium publishes 400 articles all saying the military actions comply with international humanitarian law, those articles are indexed by Google and pulled into an AI training pipeline. The next time someone asks ChatGPT whether Israel has committed war crimes, the AI now has 400 more data points. So if you look, this website has nothing on most of this information. But when you go to news and analysis, you have an endless scroll of information. They're constantly updating stuff here. See what I'm saying?
Are you finding analytics for everything going on in the Middle East right now in the conflicts? Because so far I'm seeing totals. I mean, of all nations combined, I'm seeing over 3,000 dead, 4 million displaced. This is over 1,800 saying minimum in Iran, likely over 1,900 with 3.2 million people displaced. In Lebanon, there's over 1,200 dead and about 1.2 million displaced. In Israel, there's 19 dead. The U.S., it's saying still 13 service members dead. And I'm trying to get estimates on how much is being spent. And nobody really wants to give totals, but they're all saying between at least $1 and $2 billion a day. So, I mean, the war started February 28th. So now we're at what, day 32? So if that's true, I mean, even if it was like cut that in half, let's just say it's 1.5 billion per day, right? That's like that's almost $50 billion that has been spent. And Pete Hegseth is already asking for another $200 billion to be spent. And this is on top of how much did they pass in the past year? Over $800 billion. Like, I know we had there was like
it's like over 20 years. Over 20 years.
Oh, it's over
like
20
100,
years.
112 billion or something like that.
Yeah.
What's up, Measure Man? Passing through for $5. Sorry to cut you off, bro. Have to send the UFC WWE live stream nation and the loop of money behind Linda McMahon dismantled of antitrust Bondi. That's a whole nother story. Antitrust Bondi. Bro, Bondi is crazy, bro.
That's why she got the job. That's why they gave her the job, because she would do whatever the hell they want. Yeah, I mean, people say, "Oh, Pam Bondi did this. Pam Bondi dismantled that." You think she's coming up with these ideas on her own? You think she just woke up one day and said, "Hey, all those FARA laws, let's just rip them up and throw them in the trash"? You know what I mean? Or maybe, just maybe.
When you start like think about it, bro. When you start like putting all this stuff together, right? And we find out that the Charlie Kirk network, that Salem Media is behind all of this injection of pro-Israel propaganda, Zionist, rapture conversation. And then you see that her first, basically like one of her first directive that she did was dismantle the directive on FARA, the FARA directive. On her first day, U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi issued a wide-ranging formal memorandum that includes an important section related to FARA. shifting resources in National Security Division to free resources addressing more pressing priorities, and end risks of further weaponization and abuses of prosecutorial discretion. A foreign influence task force shall be disbanded. Recourse criminal charges under Foreign Agents Registration Act shall be limited to instances of only alleged conduct similar to traditional espionage. Well, what is all of this if it's not espionage? The memorandum notably stipulates that criminal charges may not be brought under FARA or its sister statute unless the alleged conduct is similar to more traditional espionage by foreign government actors. Like, okay, I want to find out more information.
Hold on.
Explain to me how this could be harmful to the American people. This is just so sad. Selling out of our country. This is one of the most important connections you can make on stream right now because it ties the entire machine together in one clean sequence. Start with the FARA was designed to do. The foreign agents, bro, when we think about like this stuff really, it really gets to me because when you think about what it was designed to do, right? It was created in 1938.
Yeah, to stop exactly what was going on now, except for with the Nazis instead of our not so greatest ally, which is actually really ironic if you think about it.
I mean, if you were like, they were even said back then, if you were working on behalf of a foreign, like working secretly for it was for the German government specifically. The law said that if you were working on behalf of a foreign government to influence American public opinion, any politics or policy, you have to register with the DOJ and you have to disclose it publicly. Now, the American people have a right to know when the information is reaching them and where it's coming from, who's funding it, what foreign power is doing this, right? So for decades, it was already barely enforced, but at least we had a law in place. Okay, now they had the Mueller investigation. That started in 2017, beginning to treat FARA violations as serious federal crimes, which they should be. And then Paul Manafort went to prison partly on FARA charges. So the message was clear. Hiding the fact that you are a foreign agent is not an administrative oversight. It is a federal crime. And they were trying to set that standard. And that is like, basically, if you are like under the previous posture, you'd be criminally charged if you didn't disclose information. So for example, Brad Parscale and Clock Tower X LLC, if they are injecting Israeli propaganda through all of these 900 stations like the Charlie Kirk Show, Josh Hammer, Gorka, all of that, they have to disclose it in the FARA document. They have to update it. They have to give precedent. They have to explain themselves. But now there's no oversight. It's not. They're not held criminally liable. That's why we don't see the truth of Clock Tower X LLC stating in their FARA filings if they're doing anything at all, because they don't have to. Because on day one, Pam Bondi took that away. She issued the memo, and it did three things. It disbanded the Foreign Influence Task Force entirely. The Foreign Influence Task Force, which means the task force that had oversight for federally pressing charges against foreign influencers, is gone.
Well, they probably thought they were anti-Semitic because they were going to have to crack down on our not so greatest ally.
She just didn't. It's not even. Yeah, it could be, but maybe that's a hot take. But
it's a joke. But yeah, listen.
What she did do is,
guys, like. I mean, we're reading through all this stuff. We're going through the documents. We're researching. But at the end of the day, to really break it down, the government is occupied. The government is occupied. Everything that you thought that you learned in school, that you grew up thinking how things are supposed to work with our courts, with our politics, with our politicians, with our elections, with our health care, all of it. It was all bullshit. I don't know if it was real once upon a time, or maybe it was supposed to be real, if it was well intended. But I mean, I feel like after when those towers went down in 2001, our rights started going down with them. And we have never recovered. Never recovered.
Yeah. I want to see if there's anything latest on Salem Media. If people are talking about this stuff. Let's see. Oh, people are fighting in the comments of your under the post.
On X.
Bro, you work bashing Eric Kirk makes Charlie Kirk look bad, like he was so blind, as brilliant as he was, that he waited until he was.
Well, hold on. Let me take this one.
Go ahead.
Listen, I've said this a million times, and people get really, really sensitive and they get really, really uncomfortable when I say this. But let me start out with this, okay? We, like you, me, the people watching, like, we don't know Charlie Kirk. We don't know any of these people. They're not our friend. They're not our family. They're not our neighbor. We didn't go to school with them. Like, as far as we're concerned, they're people on TV. They're people that you see on screens, on your phone, on YouTube. We don't know who these people are behind the scenes. And I'm sorry. Me personally, I have trust issues. You know, I grew up in a broken home. I had, my own reasons for not trusting people, as a lot of you do. So when I see people like idolize these false idols, people that they've never met, that like they watch them on a screen and they say things that make them feel good, or they say things that they believe in. And all of a sudden they just put all their eggs in one basket. Like, we don't know who these people really are behind the scenes. And I'm sorry, with everything that we're hearing and seeing right now, with Turning Point USA, with Erica Kirk, with all these different people, Mikey McCoy, Andrew Colvett, Blake Neff, you could tell me that Charlie was a great guy and a great Christian, or you could tell me that he was really, really smart. But it's very, very hard for me to believe that he was both, because I don't see how he could not have seen through all this, unless he felt like it was something that was just necessary, and he thought that he was going to like outshine it all, and maybe he thought he was going to change people and be an influence, and he just like knew that was the world that he had to live in. And if that's the case, that's really, really, really sad, especially with finding out everything that we are now with Salem Media, because the truth is, if Charlie's dead, these people are all complicit with the cover-up. I'm not saying that they're all complicit with actually taking him out, but they are 1,000% complicit with the cover-up. And if he's alive, then, and this whole thing was staged, then you gotta, all come to your own conclusions about how you feel about that. But right now,
type an F for FARA if you think Pam Bondi dismantling FARA enforcement was intentional and not a coincidence.
Oh, of course it was. Come on.
I want to know, what do people think? Put an F, an N for no. I'm curious on how people think about this. So when you're looking at bashing Erica Kirk makes Charlie look bad, like he was so blind, as brilliant as he was, that he waited until he was nearly 30 to pick the wrong woman, as if God spoke to him about everything about his marriage. I doubt it. This person said, bro, you work for Salem Media. You're 100% proven Israeli propagandist. Why would an Israeli propagandist be so concerned? People are 46 fall. You probably need to shut up is his bio. What the heck?
Yo, can you imagine anybody trying to use Charlie as a shield for Erica Kirk? Like all the evidence isn't out there. Like I mean, come on. We don't even have to play more clips, but you listen to that CBS town hall meeting where she's talking about how she didn't date. And if you want to be with a guy like Charlie, you have to be the kind of girl that a Charlie would want to marry. And then all of a sudden, all the videos come out of her just getting shit-faced out in the city and just getting drunk and laying in bed with other women and rapping and text messages with her with 15-year-old girls and all the people that she dated over the years and all the crap that she was involved in. And then you see the allegations that she may or may not have been at the same hotel as a certain J.E. character in France. You know what I mean? Like, there's like so much. Like, you're gonna sit here and try to say that, oh, it's mean, like talking bad about Erica, holding her accountable is disrespectful to Charlie and makes him look stupid. Listen, guys think with their dicks sometimes. It happens. It's possible. It's possible that Erica got trained to know exactly how to trick Charlie into wanting to marry her. That is totally possible. But somewhere along the lines, after all these years, I'm sure he started sleeping on the couch. You know, like at some point throughout that marriage, I'm sure if he was the real deal, he started questioning his life decisions. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. And I'm sure at some point, if Charlie's dead, at some point before Charlie died, I'm sure he looked at his wife. He looked at Erica Kirk and he thought, I must be the dumbest motherfucker that ever walked the earth. I'm sure. I'm sure. What do you think, Danks?
I don't know. I can't say. I'm not Charlie. I don't know Charlie. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Well, maybe one of these days, Jesse on Fire will find out where he is and we can ask him himself. I would love to do that interview.
I'm
Charlie,
gonna put
now that you're not dead anymore, I got a couple of questions.
Can't say that now. I wish that we could. I'd love to have Charlie
Why?
alive.
Salem Media doesn't own our platform yet.
All right, we're gonna do another one. Type A for American.
Don Jr. can blow me.
If you believe American people deserve to know where their media is funded, when their media is funded by a foreign government. This signals to the reason I'm doing this, I need you to participate, is it signals to the algorithm that people need to see this. All right. They don't want Americans seeing this information. Okay. When you look at, you just see I have the ticker scrolling on top if you forget. When you look at how people talk about Tucker Carlson, when you look at they're calling him working for a foreign agent, when they're saying he's a useful idiot, how stupid does that person look when they themselves are the actual useful idiots working for a foreign agent? It's just crazy, bro. I want to find the clip of who was it that said that they're a useful idiot. Let me go back here. Yeah, keep interacting with the algorithm. Make sure you hit the like button. Should we play the hit the like button song? Have you heard it, bro?
Yeah, you played it before.
Yeah, I'm gonna play it. Let's play the hit the like button song, bro. Hit the like button.
Hey, that's Swear TNT. Yeah, there's that liturgy. We don't talk soft on this side. Triple tap them drums like the chat up. If you tune in, you're part of the Scooby gang. Everybody hit the like button right now. Hey, everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button. What? Drop your city in the chat. Don't be acting afraid. Hit the like button. Let the system get played. Hey. Everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button. We exposing all the fake ones. Hide and shade. Hit
We
the
exposing-
like button at the cold mate.
We exposing all the fake ones hiding in the shade. All right, back to what I was doing here. So let me show you the post here. Where's it at? Okay. All right. So Josh Hammer called Tucker Carlson a useful idiot for foreign governments. Let me find this clip on YouTube because I got to see it. Let me see if I can find it. Oh man,
What's
this
happening?
This is the 2 hour. Let me get the transcript out because we're gonna watch how I got to see this happen. This is what I need to see. Is actually find the timestamp for this statement. Let's see if we can get it. Let's go troll over on the Charlie Kirk show and see what they've been talking about lately.
You know what I just realized? What I really wish?
What?
I wish people would get as offended when people speak bad about Jesus and his memory as they do when people are like critical to like Charlie Kirk or Candace Owens or anybody that you love and is passionate about. You know, imagine the kind of world that we would live in.
Yeah, the world that we live in right now feels like it's just been completely hijacked. What Bayes said about CK happens to good men daily. I mean, they started with the character assassination, then they just went straight to assassinations. Like, it's crazy, you know. Man, thanks for the super chat, Keith. Good to see you.
He might have been talking about good men falling for hoes. I'm trying to be conscious of my words, not be too offensive.
Let's see what we got. Yeah, you're probably right. It's 1 hour, 5 minutes. Let's see.
And guys, I will work on dropping less F-bombs.
And he spent this much time.
You're good, bro.
Social media. It is possible.
I'm kidding, you guys.
I gotta tell you though, you play this douchebag, and I'm probably gonna drop a lot of them before I get better.
We can change if we slow it down. Will it change his voice a little bit?
As others like Matt Gates have.
I got an idea.
Oh, let's see. Let's make it
use
slow
the voice.
so we can laugh at it.
Do the voice changer.
Oh, give me a second. I'll pull it up.
Wait, who are we gonna make him sound like?
No, I can't make him sound like it. I have to do it myself, but I have to log
that'd be
in.
So funny. That'd be so funny.
Let me see if it's voicecable.ai. Let me see. I have it here. I think it's Vocable. Because I had a subscription for it. You guys would laugh so hard at this if I could find it. Let me see. AI voice changer. Let me see. Here we go.
Oh wow, you're on X right now too?
Let's see if this. I don't have it where I can talk. I would have to download and install this stuff. But let's see if this. Let's watch this clip.
Save it for a Saturday. All right, we'll listen to him.
I would like to see both these men. I would like to see both.
Oh, here we go. Hold on. What is this?
Josh Hammer can go screw himself and his Israeli propaganda.
Oh, give me something to type in the chat. You guys want to see it? Am I frozen? Somebody said I was frozen.
Yeah, you've been freezing a lot.
It's because I had the VPN on, but I turned it off. Oh, it's because when this thing is generating, it's using my CPU and it's using my internet power.
Oh.
Let's see. Andrew Tate. We can make it. We can make a 100 character statement on any of these people. Give me a sentence. Come on, people. Yeah, I am freezing. This site is really bad. Hold on. Through Salem Media Network and the all right, I'm gonna freeze again right now. I think this thing worked pretty quickly though. This is how easy it is to change your voice just from. Let's see what this says right here.
We are running a propaganda machine through Salem Media Network and the Charlie Kirk Show. Screw USA.
Bro, I need to download this right.
I'm gonna think of something. Yo, we're gonna have a lot of fun with that. Yo, you gotta send me the link. That's so funny.
Here, let's do this again. Oh man, tryparrotai.com. Let's do it again. I'm going to download this clip and I'm going to just retweet.
We are running a propaganda machine through Salem Media Network and Charlie Kirk Show. Screw the USA.
Oh man, that's so crazy. What if we slow it down a little bit?
We are running a propaganda machine through Salem Media Network and Charlie Kirk show, Screw the USA.
Oh man, that is bad. Give me some things to put in there, chat.
I got you. Hold on.
It's got to be 100 characters or less for this website.
Okay, hold on.
I'm gonna download it and
See how many.
we're gonna deploy this.
See how many this is. Yo, we're gonna make a whole video with this. Oh wait, why am I copy pasting it? All right, I just typed it right in the Discord.
All right.
Wait, where'd it go?
Bro, it has to be 100 characters or less. What is all this?
No, not that. There was another one.
Jesus.
Wait, where'd it go? No, this. The one I just sent.
All right, this is too long probably. Let me see.
This one right here, the I told.
100 characters? Yeah, it's way
Right.
too long.
All right, well, tell me how many it is, and then
I'll do it. I'll have AI change it. Change this to under 100 characters.
It's tough when you're trying to make it realistic with Trump because he repeats himself so much.
Well, I think you can pay for make it longer, I think. Let me see. I wonder if Grok can do it too.
No, we're gonna have some fun.
Lifetime access, $29.99. Damn it. We can find another one that's better here. Let me see. That one's pretty good though. Let me save this. Bookmark. Where is the oh, it's on this side. Voice Donald Trump voice changer. Voice mod. Download free. Step it into your stream, call, or Discord chat. Unleash a voice. Let's see what this is. Enter with Google. Here, let me download this. Let's mess around with it a little bit. I don't mind messing around on stream.
Yo, imagine being Benjamin Netanyahu and having Donald Trump be your bitch, and you could just like call him and make him say shit whenever you want.
Oh
Like
man.
you just call him at 4 a.m. Give him a script.
All right, I'm gonna install this thing. My computer's fast, so it shouldn't be that long. Let me see. Install. I want to try this voice changer, bro. This is what I'm gonna. Hopefully, it sounds good.
I'm such a dick.
Next, accept. Next. Create desktop. Let's go. Install. It's installing right now. Bam. Your audio might take a quick nap. Uh-oh. My computer freezes. Take over the show.
You got it.
Please wait while setup installs voice mod on your computer. Finish. All right. It's downloading update.
No,
this is
I
gonna
don't.
be
I don't
fun.
think the Mar-a-Lago raid. I don't think the Mar-a-Lago raid was real. I don't think that the charges that were pressed against him was real. I don't think that Butler was real. I think at this point, I think it was all bullshit. I could be wrong.
It says open voice mod.
It's hard to believe any of it anymore.
All right. So how does this work? Do you just go live with it or what? Clean mic. Oh, it's got all these options. Trump. Okay, so let me see. Current plan, get it now. So is it good? Let's see how good it is before I pay for anything. You know how they get you. Here, let's try it. $5.99. It's not bad. Well, let's try this. Entertain the people while I do this, bro. Be my entertainer. What do you think about so tell us what you think about all of this stuff, bro? How do you think it's going to affect the future of American media? The future of, do you think that they're going to make any changes at all as a result of what we found?
Right now?
Yeah.
I think that just people like you and me having this type of technology and AI and being able to do the research that we do, that we're just able to get a peek behind the curtain. I think that it's pretty clear that this has been going on for a very, very long time. I mean, think about it. Think of all the lies that they convinced, like not just America, but all the countries around the world. You know, like they convinced everybody that we went to the moon. Like that's number one. They convinced everybody that we went to the moon. They convinced everybody that Tower 7 just went down on its own. I mean, what otherwise, chat? What other lies have they convinced everybody about?
Tons of lies, bro.
You know?
Let's see if my voice can change right here. Has my voice changed at all?
No.
How do I set this up? Let me see. Has my voice changed at all? Tell me if my voice.
They convinced everybody about global warming. You know what I mean? Climate change.
Has my voice changed at all? Tell me if my voice sounds like Donald.
Yo, that was you?
Yo, that was me, but it didn't sound that great. Let me see. Phase, it's
You
'cause it's got all
sound
these
like Trump
distortions.
after a rough session with BB.
Hold on, let's
Sorry.
see.
I can't help myself. I'm too bad.
Shifting
I'm
drive.
sorry, ladies. I don't mean to be crude.
You don't mean to be crude. Let's see here.
Has my voice changed at all? Tell me if my voice sounds like
They
Donald
convinced
Trump.
Go ahead.
That's so bad.
Yeah, I'm trying to find
What
something that-
happened to the first one?
there's a whole bunch here. Let me show you what this looks like so you can see. Trying to figure out the best one here. Because I know how these things work. People create them and then they basically you have to find one that works, or you can even make your own. But like here's one.
Everybody about
Has my voice changed at all? Tell me if my voice sounds like Donald Trump.
I think it's the same one. So I gotta delete and then record again. I think that Salem Media is running a propaganda apparatus through what's documented for Clock Tower X LLC and Brad Parscale. It's kind of embarrassing for American Christians. Let's see how that sounds.
I think that Salem Media is running a propaganda apparatus through what's documented for Clock Tower X LLC and Brad Parscale. It's kind of embarrassing for American Christians.
That's pretty good, actually. We could do any voice, you guys. What's the chat saying? Let me see. There he is. All right.
Do Brandon
yeah.
Tatum.
Can we do it? Officer Tatum. Is he on here? Brandon. Here, let's just type in Tatum. He's not in there. No. Let's stick with the let's do they have Charlie Kirk? I don't think so. Let's see what kind of voices they got. Give me Ben Shapiro. Oh no. It doesn't look like they have it. Let me see. I think it's probably built their lot around Trump. Tatum, Kash Patel. I don't know. They have like presidents and stuff, but it's more like Obama, right? We could do Obama, Barack Obama. Let's try this. I think Donald Trump has been selling out the American people, and for some reason, he's letting propaganda artists work through the largest conservative media organization on the planet. This country is absolutely destroyed because of this, and I don't know why they would let this happen.
I think Donald Trump has been selling out the American people, and for some reason, he's letting propaganda artists work through the largest conservative media organization on the planet. This country is
Bro, that's supposed to be Obama?
It's supposed to be, but yeah.
It sounds like RuPaul.
I got to see like what are the best ones, voice lab. So you could even make your own from scratch. What is this? This has got I show speed, but the voices is where it's at. So let's do Trump. You could literally make Trump say whatever we want. This one was the best one, I think.
Yeah, but I mean, that's not impressive because Netanyahu's been doing that for years.
What do you mean?
Making Trump say whatever he wants.
Yeah.
Went over your head.
No, I got it. See, they said Ronald Reagan. Swag Lord.
Former President Ronald Reagan died of pneumonia this afternoon at his home in California.
Okay, I don't know if
Former President.
it only plays it.
Oh,
I can do it in real time.
Does it play me twice?
Do you hear me once or twice?
I hear your voice and I hear the other one.
Okay.
Okay.
Hold on. I gotta fix that. Okay, how about now?
No, that's good.
Okay, so we're gonna do this sounding like Donald Trump for the rest of the show. So this is what everybody needs to understand. It's hard because I'm here myself.
Bro, you sound like a mix of Donald Trump, Bill Clinton, and RFK. Like they all like rolled up into one somehow. Keep going. Say, I did not have sexual relations with that young woman. I can't hear anything now. Now you're muted. I don't hear nothing. What happened?
Well, it's because they take this thing off, and
you got to say the line. Say the famous Bill Clinton line.
I did not have sexual relation with that woman. I mean, I promise. And the thing is, they need to stop talking about me like that. I don't like these words when they speak like me or about me. You know, Epstein, he's gone. He's dead. And for anybody to say anything else whatsoever, Hillary, she is not having it. She keeps whooping my ass.
Yo, tell us about the time you walked in on Hillary with the high school basketball team.
Well, I kind of like that, but I just hate to be I don't want to say too much. Bubba is a good friend, and that's all I can say.
Is it true? You're still Bill Clinton, right?
Well, I'm Donald Trump.
Oh,
but
I thought you were Bill Clinton.
Here, hold on. Let me change the voice.
Because Donald Trump would never say I did not have sexual relations with that woman. He would say that she was terrible. That it was.
All right.
Okay. You're a stupid person. I'm tired of all these people saying that we're doing propaganda for the Israeli artist, the machine, the apparatus.
This sounds like Donald Trump got his testicles removed and he's like totally out of testosterone.
We got to find the best one. I don't know. What about this one?
No.
Yes, I'm Let me see. Why are all these stupid people?
All right. I got an idea. You got to tell the story about why your voice sounds like that. And the story has to include Netanyahu and JE making you do something to Bubba.
Bubba.
You didn't read the files, bro?
Well, we need to find the best. Now we're just messing around over here. Grace, how many times do I have to tell you and Danks? Leave us alone. Bradley Parscale, he gave us a really good deal. And the thing is, we own 30% of his company. They own 30% of our company. My daughter, Lara, She
Yo,
is
this
a
is like
really
Steiner.
good
This is like
husband.
Steiner math when our not so greatest ally owns 100% of both your asses.
Well, they're our greatest Iowa. So my ass is for sale. You understand? So don't be a stupid little person. You know that Big Daddy Baba likes money. All right. And I tell Hillary all the time, and Bill and Obama and all them, they weren't working the Jews right. See, I've got our whole legacy built out for the future of mankind. So when people are stupid or acting dumb or fake news, they don't understand the Trump agenda. I'm working 200 G's, 200 D chess.
So tell me again how the files saying and documenting that you gave Bill Clinton fellatio is a Democrat hoax.
Well, I just told people that it's not a hoax.
It's not a hoax. So
They
you
told
did it.
me that I had to say.
So what did they give you for doing that?
Well, they gave me a $250 million. You already know. I said it on stage. I had to tell everybody.
Was it worth it?
That's part of the deal.
Was it worth it?
Well, hell yeah. We got our property in Gaza. Obviously.
Disgraceful.
Well, yeah. I mean, I didn't say I wasn't a disgrace. What other questions do you have, you stupid person? Come on, stop laughing.
I don't want to go too far. I was about to say
Ask
something.
me.
I was about to say something that was
Nothing
definitely
else
going to be
to say.
crossing some lines. We got to plan
We
this out.
crossed plenty of lines. Me and Obama were doing lines this morning. I'm so mad. There's nothing that's going to hurt me. I mean, I can't feel a damn thing. My balls won't. I mean, they're all shriveled up into my stomach, but what do you got? What are you laughing at?
Oh my God.
God will not save you.
Oh no?
Not from them. Not
Who's
from
them?
me either.
Who's them?
You know who they are.
I don't know who they are.
A lot of money for me to do the things that I do. And I am that guy. I'm the man. I'm the Messiah. And they know that. They told me that. I didn't know that until they told me. Bibi Netanyahu, he really made me understand that I am the Messiah. And that's why I do the things I do. And I survived an assassination. Don't forget that. God spared me for the people of Israel. I'm just saying.
We're going to hell.
Well, I'm definitely going to hell. You want me to save you a seat? I got a VIP ticket. Ball is hanging out down there. And hey, Ball, give me a ticket for Bayes. I don't think we're going to get Danks, but Bayes is on the cusp. If you could just do a little bit more and we can have them for eternity. I mean, does Miriam Adelson have a couple million we could throw Bayes away? Yeah. We'll call here. Get her on the phone. Get her on the phone. Yeah. Miriam, we have a guy here that we're trying to get into hell. And the thing is, he needs a few million. Bayes, how much money did you say you needed?
I don't need anything.
No, it's money. Bayes.
I don't need any money. If I did, I would be promoting our not so greatest ally like you. It pays
hold
much
on.
better, believe me.
They're our greatest ally, for number one. And number two, Bayes, it's money. You can have however much you want. Maybe we'll give you some land in Gaza. I mean, we could work a deal. Ball, Do we still have property in Gaza that we can give these guys? Are you sure? Well, that was, yeah. Well, I was gonna have that was my win, but are you sure we could do it? We haven't closed the deal on that yet, right? Okay, Baze, I'll give you 100 million, and I'll give you a quarter acre on the water over by your greatest ally. We have property there. We can put you in a penthouse suite. Ball will serve you breakfast in the morning. But make sure your wife is safe.
What was that?
Fucking find her.
It sounded like a compressor. Like you got the guy from No Country for Old Men coming for you. You better check your Wi-Fi. You better check your internet cables. I hope you got those titanium ones I was telling you about. They're definitely gonna cut your shit again after this.
That was weird. Bought in like my offering of the 100 million.
Did you check your internet cables? Make sure nobody's trying to cut them shits.
Look, Danks' internet is gonna be fine. Okay, he's fine. You need to worry about your internet.
Just making sure.
All this file stuff. Talking about this file stuff. Don't you understand? We started the war because of that.
We started the war because of the files? Tell me more.
I mean, it's classified, but you could sell. I mean, Ian Carroll fucked it up for all of us. Unfortunately, if you do enough research, you'll understand why. Hey, should I tell him?
Is it true that you have to wear a colostomy bag because somebody stuck something up your rectum?
They always.
You want to tell us that story?
Well, I was down in this country. I mean, I was so high I don't remember, but there was this boy, and well, just long story short, we went into this place and we were supposed to have a guitar, and I just wanted to play. He wanted to play too. We just wanted to hang out, and you know, he was a stupid little boy. What he did is he took this stick. Well, it was like a pole, actually.
A pole?
And it was a pole, yeah. It was a big, long, painted pole.
Were you smoking it?
Let's see. Well, we weren't smoking the pole. We were.
I read in those files that you were smoking Bubba's pole.
No comment. No comment. Why are you laughing? Don't be stupid.
All right, keep going. Keep telling your story about how you got the colostomy bag.
I want to talk about something else.
You want to talk about something else? What do you want to talk about?
I want to talk about why you and Danks are attacking my son's media company.
Because they're scumbags, and that's what I do.
You do scumbags?
No, I expose scumbags. Just wait till 10 o'clock Eastern time tonight. I'm going to go even harder. Because after 10 o'clock, I don't know, I feel like that's the line for me. Once we get to 10 p.m., I don't have to hold back so much.
Well, you know, like, the devil comes out at night. And we're offering you $100 million and a quarter acre of land in Gaza. You can say what you want. That's a good deal.
It's a good deal. Where do you come up with this? Witching hour. Yep.
Do we have any super chats? No super chats. Well, let me get this straight. So Josh Hammer called Tucker Carlson a useful idiot for foreign governments, and the entire media platform that they're talking about. I had no idea that Brad Parscale was actually the registered agent that you. I mean, I found that out through you and Danks, and then all these people are talking about it. Jimmy Boy reposted it. I mean, we're put in a tough position here, bud. And all these stupid people out there are trolling me on X because they won't come over the truth, and I don't really know what to do.
It's very ironic that the platform that you like to post on is called Truth.
What's the only place I can speak and grab them by the pussy?
It's almost as ironic as Salem Media being considered the largest distributor for Christian content.
Well, we say it's Christian content, but it's actually the opposite.
The opposite? What's the opposite of Christian?
Jewish.
You don't say.
Oh, I say. If you knew what I knew when I went in those rooms, when they took me over there, I don't know why my voice keeps changing. I keep sounding like I'm like gay Bill Clinton.
So wait, was Trevor Moore right?
Who's Trevor Moore?
You don't know who Trevor Moore is?
Can you educate me?
Oh my God, we're gonna have to play that soon. What about Isaac Happy?
Chrissy Hughes says, keep going. These little people.
Guys, let me know. Put a 1 in the chat if you know who Trevor Moore is. R.I.P.
We should take. We should do this.
You know what's crazy? It blows my mind that all these people that like talk about the cabal, talk about the Illuminati,
I know
talk
Trevor
about
Moore.
the people that abuse children. Like a lot of them like jump off of balconies, or they get in these like single car accidents, or sometimes they bad things just happen to them, and there's never really a proper investigation either. I mean, I heard that there was a group of celebrities that were working on a documentary, and like all of them had some really, really bad luck. You know, Chester Bennington, Chris Cornell. I heard rumors that Anthony Bourdain might have been involved, and just all of them. It's like crazy to me. Chat, you guys know what I'm talking about?
We need let's see.
You looking all these people up?
I'm trying to find voices.
You're trying to find voices?
Yeah. Let me see here. I wish I had a guide or sound like RFK with my voice.
You sound like
So why are these people saying that I'm a sellout? I never did anything against the American people. They're just a bunch of idiots. They don't listen. This is the problem.
That's not good.
What's not good?
That you don't listen. You should listen. Because if you listen to the people that voted for you, we wouldn't be in this mess. Oh, Kate Spade, that's another one. Avicii too. I forgot about him. Oh, he was supposed to be part of that documentary as well.
Let's see if we can find a better voice.
Yo, what is with the correlation? It seems like all these people that like find out about like this Illuminati stuff, they really seem to hate life.
Well, the Illuminati is real. And we need to understand they control us.
I just want to state for the record, just real quick, that I love my life. I do. Got the best friends and family, you know. Danks, you're definitely up there on the list now. You know, I love my life. I would never harm myself or anybody else. So, you know, God forbid anything were to happen to me.
God is not going to save you.
No. Didn't save Danny Casolaro either, or Gary Webb. R.I.P.
I'm trying to get you. I'm trying to get you over to our side. But I can't finish my statements because I'm hearing myself in my ear, and I usually don't have the reported audio in my ear. But the thing is, we can keep going. Let's go ahead and talk about some other things that are going on. So, do you think that we killed Charlie Kirk?
I mean, listen, tomato, you know. First off, I don't even know if the guy is dead. Let's just be real.
Well, you don't think that was convincing enough?
Do I
Saw it
think
on camera.
do I think that you were involved in the cover up? Abso-fucking-lutely. That's just my personal opinion, though.
Well, the problem with Charlie is I tried to grab him by the pussy, and then I tried to grab Erica's pussy. And
I'm sure you didn't have to try too hard for that one.
Well, Charlie was in between us, and but I grabbed it anyway. And the problem is, Charlie said that if I did it again, which I did it a bunch of times after that, but he said if I did it again, and then he would step away from Israel. So that's really why he stepped away, is because I grabbed her by the pussy. And then I said, thank you for attention to this matter. He didn't like that.
I'm sure he didn't like that at all.
Chrissy, you know,
Yo.
Okay.
That's a real one right there.
Look, Christy, don't tell me that avatar. I will grab that, you know, I'm trying to, I will.
What the fuck is wrong with you? Yeah, does that avatar remind you? Does that avatar remind you of the Erica Kirk Ed Fleet video that we were playing the other night?
Yeah, that was a good one.
Chat, put a one on the chat if you remember, if you were watching, you know what I'm talking about.
You can share your screen because I can't share and use his voice. You can share your screen and we can look at other stuff and continue. Play the Erica Kirk video. I'll put it on stage.
Hold on, let me find it.
I don't know if it'll let me though because the way this thing works. Let me see.
Yo.
Oh, here we go.
Oh my god. Wait.
I think now.
Do you hear me twice again?
Yeah.
Yeah? How
Yeah,
about
I hear you
now?
twice. No, just hear you once.
Okay, hold on. Here we go. Now I've got it. Now, okay, here we go. Check this out. Do I still sound like Trump?
I mean, you never sounded like Trump, but you sound how you've been sounding. That's for sure.
We good. Now I don't hear myself. I can talk normally.
Yo, I'm just gonna tell you guys now, when it's my turn, probably on Saturday night to do this voice, I'm gonna do it too, but I'm gonna be Erica.
All right, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna go check out that Erica Kirk video. AD Fleet is her name, right? That AD Fleet, man. She makes it. This video right here had my heart pumping when I saw it, and I caught Erica and I said, "Carol, can we hang out tonight?" Look at that booty.
Yo,
My
thanks.
goodness.
You got way too into this the other day. I'm just saying.
I mean, you didn't even let me watch the whole thing. It was like a half a minute in. He said I had to cut it off. So, I mean, I'm just saying.
You made some faces that made me very uncomfortable. I'm not gonna lie.
I was just surprised, you know, just as much as Danks is. I'm surprised as well. I mean, the beat is banging. Look at these. Wow. Look at that's the one. I like her right there a lot. All these people, they think Erica's evil, demonic. How could he call a girl like that evil, demonic? Look at that. Look at the tongue. All these stupid people, retards. How could he not? How could you say that about them? Oh, yeah. Down under on Sydney. Well, yes. Oh yeah, look at that's the sign right there. That is probably my favorite image in this whole thing area. But let's keep going because I haven't seen the whole thing because you made Dave tear it off, and we're really gonna get into this. Where is that? Is that my tower right there? I think it's my tower right there. Okay. This is, but she look at all the rings she has on her fingers. This is my type of woman right here. I tell Ivanka all the time, you look just like Erica Kirk, girl. You're such a beautiful little, my daughter, you're so beautiful.
How much did you get for her, by the way?
What's that?
How much did Kush pay for that one? I mean, you didn't give your daughter away to Mo Stod for nothing, right?
Well, Kushner, he, let's just say that I knew he'd be very, very useful. That's all.
Okay.
You know, I didn't have to do much. I mean, she also is a lot like her daddy. She wants to have a lot of the benefits of being an empire and all that stuff. So we made a deal with Jared, and Jared was pretty happy with the deal. Obviously, he got my daughter. I mean, she's beautiful, right? So.
Yeah. I click anything you bait me with.
Whoa.
Touch it.
Not touch it. I have a lot of pussy.
Are you from the moon?
This is a really good photo right here, Erica Kiro.
Thanks.
Charlie, know you look
Watch
this kid.
video this week.
I haven't watched this the first time I watched it, I promise.
Chad, how many times do you think Danks watched this video this week?
Dude, she's got a huge throat. Look at his throat. It wouldn't take that much throat for her to take DJT down that. But I respect the gift.
And are you an alien? Because your face is also out of this world.
Whoa.
Forget it, you're so beautiful that you made me forget my pickup line. You have the most stunning features, your lips, your skin, your eyes. Falling for more than black eyes, but you're salty, so I won't slip.
How could he sleep in another room? I don't get it. I don't get it.
I heard she has a dick.
Even if she did.
Yo.
I mean, I'd have two of that.
Put a ring on it, girl, so you can always ride my space.
Is this Trump or Danks talking right now?
It's a little bit of both. Banks washed it 33 times. He washed it 33 times. What do you mean? Banks isn't like that. He's got a wife. He's got a kid on the way. So.
All those curves in me.
All right, I'm bored of this. I watched it 2 or 3 times already. So let's see.
I knew it.
So anyway, another massive bombshell. Yeah, so isn't that kind of crazy? They figured out the bullet doesn't match the gun. So I'm really concerned.
I thought we figured that out the first week.
Well, we tried to sell it to everybody, but they kept pressing and pressing and pressing. And all these stupid people, they're so ignorant. They don't listen to me. But I tell them that.
Maybe if Cash Patel wasn't so maybe if Cash Patel wasn't so busy watching cuck corn and flying his girlfriend around, dancing like a ballerina, he'd have covered up the crime a little better.
Well, I mean, we put that stuff on Cash Patel's computer and his phone, and then we hacked it and gave it to the Iranians. We thought it'd be funny. But they call him Cash for a reason with a K, right? This guy, there's one guy that's really bothering us lately. Is James Lee guy.
He's a good one.
A few days ago, we were told that 2 ICBMs were fired at Diego Garcia, which is a joint US-UK military base in the southern Indian Ocean. Now, the Israeli military very quickly claimed that Iran fired these missiles and that they could soon hit Europe, including cities like Berlin, Paris, and Rome. Prime Minister Netanyahu then tweeted out, quote, "I asked the leaders of the free world, what are you waiting for?"
Iran has proven again in the last 48 hours that it is the enemy of civilization and a danger to the free world, targeting children and families and the elderly with terror missiles, threatening Jerusalem's holy sites, launching long-range missiles, and trying to blackmail the world straight through the Strait of Hormuz. I keep telling those stupid Iranians, they need to stop threatening the Strait of Hormuz. We're going to drop one on them like a deuce after I eat a cheeseburger on Wednesday afternoon. And they don't want that because I drop bombs, all right? I drop bombs, especially after a cheeseburger.
Or Israel is not only fighting for itself, but fighting for all of you. But there's just one problem. Iran says they got nothing to do with it. And if you read the Wall Street Journal reporting critically, it said that one of the missiles failed mid-flight, so it didn't even get there, and the other may or may not have been intercepted. So we really have no idea what actually happened. The US's own intelligence indicate that Iran lacks the capability of firing any missiles outside of about 1,200 miles. Now, Diego Garcia is located in the southern Indian Ocean, about 2,500 miles away from the nearest point in Iran, so something is not adding up here. Okay, the UK has now publicly come out to say that there is, quote, no assessment to substantiate Israel's claim that Iran has long-range missiles capable of hitting London. The NATO Secretary General said they have no evidence.
Hey, do you guys want to hear a story, actually?
Sure.
I mean, I have a story for you. I was thinking about telling. I'm just not sure if you want to hear it. If you want to hear Trump tell you a story.
Sure.
Okay, so I'm sitting there in the big, beautiful office. Actually, I'm sitting in there right now. In this Oval Office, the most beautiful office you've ever seen. Beautiful, beautiful office. People tell me all the time, they say, "Sir, this is the most beautiful office." And I'm reading this report, tremendous report about Salem Media. You know Salem? Great people, tremendous, tremendous Christians. Very holy, very, very holy people. And I'm reading this and it says, and I couldn't believe it. I said, this can't be right. Let me read it again. It says their strategy guy, Brad Parscale, very tall guy, very tall, very handsome, very tall, handsome guy, very much taller than me, actually, and I'm very tall. People don't know that, but Brad, who, by the way, did a beautiful job, just a beautiful job on my 2020 campaign, except for the losing part. That wasn't so beautiful, but everything else was perfect. It says Brad is registered. I don't know about registration. Folks, nobody knows about registration more than me, especially fund registrations. I've registered so many things, tremendous things. It says Brad is a foreign agent for Israel. Now, I love Israel. Nobody loves Israel more than me. I moved the embassy. Did you know that? Nobody else did that. Obama didn't do it. Bush didn't do it. Sleepy Joe, oh gosh, he's so sleepy. Sleepy Joe didn't even do it. And he had people behind him doing everything for him, and they didn't even think to do it. But I did it. Big, beautiful embassy. So big and beautiful. Now, even I who loves Israel more than anyone, even more than some Jewish people, quite frankly, they tell me that they say, "Sir, I love Israel more than we do." I know you love it too. But they say that you love it more than we do.
You fuck it up.
Even more than some Jewish people. Frankly, they tell me that. They say, "Sir, you love Israel more than we did." Even I didn't register as a foreign agent while simultaneously running the largest Christian network on Radio America. I didn't do that. That's a lot. That's too much even for me. And even there's Josh Hammer, very smart guy, very Jewish guy, writes for Newsweek. Now, Newsweek, total fake news, absolute disaster of a publication, but Josh is good. Very good. Writes beautiful things about Israel and civilization. Wrote a whole book about it, Israel and Civilization. Great title, by the way. Very strong title. I like strong titles. My titles are the best. The Art of the Deal, tremendous title, but Israel and Civilization is good too. Not as good, but good. And Josh is on Salem. And Josh goes on television, goes on the radio, very serious face. He's a very serious guy. The classes, very smart looking guy. And he says Tucker Carlson is the most dangerous anti-Semite in American history. More dangerous than Henry Ford. No, Henry Ford, interesting guy. made the cars, tremendous cars, actually. I drive American, always American, only American. But Josh, well, I have a Tesla from Elon, but I love American cars. But Josh says Tucker is worse than Henry Ford. And I'm thinking, Josh, you're on a network where the strategy chief, the top guy, the head honcho of strategy, just registered with the Department of Justice as a foreign agent for the Israeli government. And you're worried about Tucker. Tucker is just a guy with a bad haircut making podcasts in the woods somewhere. You're owning, your own building is registered with the Department of Justice, Josh. That's the fake news right there, not Tucker. Your building. And Charlie, beautiful Charlie Kirk, God rest his soul, a tremendous young man, very smart, very Christian, loved Israel, loved the Jews, studied Torah. Can you believe it? Shabbat, Shalom, evangelical Christian together. And that's what I do, Charlie. Charlie was like me in that way, very unifying Christian, studied the Talmud and had a WhatsApp group called Saving Civilization. And he used to talk to Josh Hammer in this WhatsApp group about how to save Western civilization. And I read this and I said, guys, the civilization you're trying to save, it's being saved from inside a building. Your strategy, this chief strategy officer is actually a registered foreign agent. He's saving civilization from within a registered foreign influence operation. That's, and I say this with great love, tremendous love. That's maybe not the best place to save civilization from. Maybe I'm just asking questions. Now, Brad came to me in 2015. He's a great guy. Again, he's very tall. I mentioned how tall he was. He's very tall like me. And he said, sir, I can win the internet. And I said, Brad, I already own the internet. I mean, I'm the most talked about person on the internet besides Andrew Tate. Everyone talks about me. Good, bad, doesn't matter. All press is good press. I know press and the internet better than anyone. But Brad said, sir, let me show you what I can do. And he built this digital operation, just a beautiful digital operation, billions of impressions. Nobody had seen anything like that. It was just absolutely tremendous. And now Brad is doing the same thing, the same exact beautiful digital operation, but for Israel. There's something, well, it's called Market Brew. I think they showed it on the screen earlier, which is literally on the bottom of the website. I just put it on the bottom of the website. Material is distributed by Clock Tower X LLC on behalf of the state of Israel. It's right there on the site. And then writing all in the fake news and the total fake news of Israel. Nobody covered it for months. Nobody covered it. Your boy Danks covered it. Little Danks with his phone and his receipts covered. What the failing New York Times, a very, very failing New York Times and fake news, CNN, total disaster, what all of them missed. A guy with a phone, a camera, and some half-ass internet found the disclosure that was literally on the bottom of a website. And really, that, folks, is the real story of Salem Media. Beautiful Christian network, tremendous hosts, very holy people, Christian people, Jewish people, strategy chief registered with the Department of Justice as a foreign agent, disclosure on the bottom of the website, plain English, in FARA documents on the internet. Danks built a whole website. Some guy with some broken ass internet. It took him 10 days to get his internet back. But nobody covered it except Danks. It reads everything, I guess. Apparently, that's how he connected this whole damn thing, which is why I say this. I know talent. I know talent better than anyone. I mean, I've hired the best talent, the best people in the world. Well, most of them at least. And some of them turned out to be total disasters, total rats, to be honest. But Danks finds everything. And that's called getting the job done, folks. So he did a good job.
Bravo. Round of applause for our special guest and for Danks.
So anyways, well, I think we're going to end it here. I appreciate it. Thanks for joining me, guys.
I got to get going. I will be back. Danks are going to be around later. I still got to do my 10 o'clock show, so.
Oh, guys, encoding. We promised ourselves I wouldn't go this long, and here we are.
I know. I thought we were only going to do about 2 hours, and it's almost 4 hours.
We probably had too much of a good time.
Yeah, we were having a very good time.
1,000 people on X probably laughing their asses off because I grabbed them all by the pussy.
All right. Well, the invitation will be open later for you. I'll do the show on StreamYard instead of OBS in case you want to make a little time and pop in and say hello.
Sounds good. Let me know. And
guys, thank you all for joining us. Like I always say, be kind, be grateful, do something nice for somebody. And I'll see you guys at 10 o'clock Eastern time.
Absolutely. Don't forget, you know, you remember what ally is. Peace.